What is going on, everybody? It is episode 839 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett. We are back once again, and I'm here with my co-host. Introduce yourself, please.
Hi, Crisis Actors. It's Mary. What's up, party people?
Okay.
This is exciting.
If you want to know what we were talking about before the show, it was everybody's Hear Me Out. At least it was Mary's and Tate's Hear Me Out.
Are we going to get into that?
I don't know.
How about we wait until the end of the show? We'll see if we get into some Hear Me Out discussion. We have Tate joining us today.
Hello, my name's Tate. My Hear Me Out is probably incriminating, so we're not going to get into that today. Next topic.
Staying away from that one?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It'll come up later,
No
you
comment.
know?
No comment.
You let your guard down the longer the stream goes on.
Yeah.
And you reveal things
So true.
you didn't think you would.
And remember, Hear Me Outs cannot be human. Like, that was the whole thing.
It's supposed to be like anthropomorphic characters, mascots, even inanimate objects, vehicles.
Fruit.
Yeah, even fruit. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so perhaps that's what we'll get into at the end of Tate Tuesday. We'll find out. We have a bunch of stuff to get into today, but before we get started, as always, hit the like button on this episode and all of the segments that you watch. The more people that you share the content with as well is a great way to help this show grow. So share the episodes out, share the segments out, and hit the like button on all the videos because it tells the algorithm that you like this content, and that can help given the fact that YouTube is playing all sorts of BS games these days. What's happening, guys, is so we work very hard to put out 5 episodes a week if all the stars align and everything goes well. I drop ads every 15 minutes on the show so that it's not super interruptive. But what's happening is that YouTube is actually demonetizing the first 3 ads. It's not registering them. So the first 45 minutes of the show, nothing because YouTube is off playing funny business. So what you should do in lieu of that is to at least share the content out so that more people can find it and watch it. So thank you guys so much for that. What are we getting into today? Well, yesterday we led with Pedro Pascal talking nothing but politics at Cannes. Today we're going to talk about Pedro Pascal ruining the chances of Fantastic Four making $1 billion.
Because he's fruity.
Yes.
He is getting unbelievably zesty these days, and the question remains, is he capable of playing a macho superhero?
I mean, he is capable of doing macho, but we'll have to wait and see if that holds true at age 50.
I don't know. Questionable.
We'll see.
It was so funny. Just before we move on, Brett sent me this video of Pedro Pascal I believe he's still in Cannes in this video, right?
I think so. It looks like that's where he is. Do they have raves?
Somehow Pedro Pascal is zesty enough that I knew exactly what was going to happen before I even knew what I was about to do.
She did. I queued it up to play, and she goes, "What is going to happen?" And then she literally predicted exactly.
He's going to start licking a phallic object, isn't he?
That's exactly
That's what he started
figure.
doing.
So we're going to talk about that and what it's going to do for Fantastic Four. We're also going to talk about the YouTube channel Outdoor Boys, which clearly is
this
affecting
hitting
Tate.
close to home for you, Tate?
Do you know what I have to eat alone with no silent? It's all silent when I eat now. There's no more Outdoor Boys.
Was that your dinner content?
That was my dinner content.
So
now I gotta make a friend or something. It's horrible.
So it's not a channel that I watch, but literally last night I watched a 30-minute time-lapse video of a dude in the woods building a house by himself.
Yeah.
So it's kind of in my sphere of content that I want.
Well, it
but
started
talk
with
about
it was random people in India, and they would make stuff with a stick, and they would build these giant houses, and then it evolved and it evolved, and then Outdoor Boys just stormed in and took the industry by storm.
I also like the dude who does he does the urban camping.
Oh, that guy's awesome.
Steve Wallace or Steve Willis. My favorite is the one where he always looks really paranoid everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
He's all that's gonna happen is they're gonna shine a light on him, like, bro, get out of here. But my favorite is he did urban camping in a roundabout.
Yeah.
In the center of a roundabout.
Look, I'm not homeless. I'm urban camping.
Actually,
San Francisco's got a lot of urban campers.
Sounds like you would like Outdoor Boys content based on your watch history.
So we're gonna talk about that.
He recently posted a video about a trip to Taiwan. I bet the CCP has something to do with this. Shut it down.
They're like, no wholesome content for you, America. Nothing but. I saw Watch Mojo made a anti-woke top 10 list recently.
Yeah.
So, that vibe, that pendulum is just swinging back and kicking people in the nuts.
No, but the real controversy is that a lot of his fans believe his wife is to blame for his indefinite hiatus.
So we are going to talk about that. We are also going to talk about a fantastic list of celebrities culturally appropriating.
We're going to decide which ones are our favorites, who missed the mark, who could have done better, and what is the future for Culture Vultures in 2025?
I mean, who knows? What's his name? Post Malone has finally found himself where he wants to be, so maybe we'll have to get into it. All right, if you guys are ready, we will go. Mary, are you ready?
Let's go.
You ready?
Ready.
All right, let's get started then.
Barack Obama's 26-year-old Nepo baby daughter, Malia, is trying to make her name for herself as an independent filmmaker, and she just directed a commercial for Nike that was starring Asia Wilson, a WNBA player. But the response is split, and some people are saying that Malia Obama plagiarized an indie filmmaker's short film called Grace for her material in the ad. And Natalie J. Harris is the name of this indie filmmaker. She did an interview with Business Insider, and it says, "I see echoes of my short film in Malia Obama's Nike ad. It's part of a bigger problem." So a lot of people posted this side-by-side comparison of the short film Grace, comparing it to the Nike ad with Asia Wilson. Do you have that?
Yep. Well, do we want to play the one where they're to get like the two are playing together? Okay, here we go, guys. Again, this is about 19
It's a bit
seconds.
of a reach, in my opinion, because the short film is 14 minutes long and the Nike ad is a minute long. But here, we'll see.
Here we go. No audio.
So you're looking through the doorway, and
nobody's ever shot through a doorway before.
Dark on the inside, and then they, if you see, they're playing patty cake.
Well, here's the thing: they're only playing patty cake through the doorway in one of them, and the other one they're not. So that's actually not the same.
Mm-hmm.
But then it cuts to a shot of patty cake where they are. It is filmed in the same. It's shot in close up for most of the shots for the facial expressions, and then it goes
laughing
to mid shot. And then what's funniest about this is that we were mentioned like they competed against each other at Sundance, correct? So it's not even like Malia can say that she doesn't know that this exists.
This is what leads me to believe the indie filmmaker has an argument. Because she met Malia Obama at Sundance. Both of their short films were shown at that event. So Malia Obama definitely watched the short film. And it probably, if anything, subconsciously just was stirring around in her mind and gave her the inspiration.
Uh-oh.
But Natalie Harris is now hinting that she is going to threaten legal action against Malia Obama for this. She said, "It's devastating, but at least you can hopefully see this is about more than just patty cake." And I don't know if I totally sympathize.
She said like pat a cake.
Pat a cake. Is it actually called pat a cake? I always thought it was patty cake. That's what I thought it was growing up.
That's what I did too.
She said, "I met Malia at Sundance in 2024 when Grace, her short film, and Malia's short film, The Heart, were both in competition with each other. We saw each other at the director's brunch and a couple other events. Initially, I was disappointed and hurt, not just for myself, but my entire team. I sent the commercial to my friends who had the same reaction I did." She said, "I haven't heard from Malia Obama or Nike since speaking out, and I would like for there to be some acknowledgement. I was hesitant to speak out since it involves a former president's daughter and the beloved brand like Nike."
Well, that's privilege if ever there was one. Is the privilege to not have people call out your bullshit because you're part of a political family.
Criticizing something involving the WNBA was also hard because it means a lot to me personally. As a black lesbian, she means, and it already gets such a lack of spotlight. That's because nobody cares about the WNBA.
There was literally just the other day, I don't remember who it was, called out Dave Portnoy for betting $25 grand on a WNBA game. They're like, "This means you have a problem, bro."
Yeah.
Like he won too. He won like he like turned a parlay and won like.
It's bad enough watching WNBA, but if you know what you're doing, that's even worse.
Like they're like if you've reduced yourself to betting on the WNBA, you're officially like a gambling addict.
I think we'll be able to tell if Natalie's lawsuit is doing well if her house gets drone striked. I think that's, that's typically common with the Obamas.
Or if like a chef ends up dead outside of the
right.
house.
Then we know.
They have shooters in the Obama family. Just
look.
kidding.
I really enjoy seeing filmmakers beef because it's like it reminds me of like two kind of losers in school arguing about like computers or something. It's just like fun to watch. You're like, I just hope they both have fun.
That's how I feel when like comic book nerds actually argue about the merits of the characters rather than race swaps and stuff like that. Like right now, everybody's been arguing about why in in Batman vs Superman, when the courtroom blows up, why Superman didn't save anyone because he's as fast as the Flash. He could literally save. They're like, why didn't there? Everyone's like arguing about his power set. I'm like, this is nice.
It's great.
This is giving me old school vibes. I appreciate it.
Because it's divorced from the culture war. This
no,
is
the thing is it's not. It's still connected to the culture war because it's connected to people's love of like the Zack Snyder movie. So it's still it's quasi connected, but still it's more wholesome than if they're arguing about somebody being race swapped.
Well, this situation is a lose-lose in my estimation because both the Nike commercial and the short film are incredibly woke. The description of the short film from Natalie Harris is 16-year-old Grace prepares for her baptism in the 1950s South. When she learns she must repent before the ritual, Grace contemplates her budding romantic feelings toward her best friend Louise. So it's a queer period piece, and Natalie Harris says it affirms that black queer women have always been here.
Gay,
whatever that
in the
means.
1950s must have been a hell of a road.
That would be wild.
And the Nike ad is very behind the times, putting the spotlight on a WNBA player no one cares about and trying to be woke. Like,
yeah.
That's it's not really fitting for the time that we live in.
Did Barack ever plagiarize? I feel like I've seen things of like saying Barack plagiarized.
A lot of people thought that Melania plagiarized her own speeches based off of Michelle Obama's speeches in the past. But it's probably, you can blame the speechwriters for that.
Yeah.
Not Melania herself.
I mean, that just shows a problem with the speechwriter not understanding like the nature of the person giving the speech, because the type of speech you would expect from Michelle Obama isn't the type of speech you'd expect from Melania Trump. They're completely different people.
I didn't know Melania spoke English till like 3 years into the presidency. So I respect Colin Rugg's grind here, where he sat down and wrote an entire thing about a lesbian Nike ad. That's a big.
We were asking
before the show. We were like, who is Colin Rugg? Like,
I was wondering that.
When I think of him, I imagine him. I've never even clicked on his page other than to see like the posts that he make. But he, in my mind, he is like a weird distillation of John Rich and Chad Prather. And they've just come together to form Colin Rugpull.
I think it's Ian Miles Chong was feeling the heat, so he made an AI white guy.
Yeah. Well, Colin Rugg claims to be the co-owner of Trending Politics, and he was one of the ex-engagement farmers that spread this story around to make it viral. There's also simultaneously a controversy about the new Superman movie plagiarizing Man of Steel.
So a lot of this is like, this was going around last weekend. I hope we don't get copyrighted on this, but they just pulled up how a bunch of the shots in James Gunn's Superman echo very closely to shots that were used in Man of Steel, and people are arguing back and forth. Is this plagiarism, or is this simply you're working with the same character, so the type of shot you're going to use is going to be the same? But you can make a decision for yourself here. We'll watch the clip's only 19 seconds here, but again, no audio.
Man of Steel just looks better.
A son that's younger.
The aspect ratio is different. Is it because Man of Steel was made for IMAX?
One was probably taken directly from a DVD rip rather than...
I see.
Okay. So
who are these people that are mad at, like, oh, Superman's flying? They did that in the last movie.
Well, no, like, so people, especially when it comes to Zack Snyder movies, get very, very, like, just recently, somebody got very mad at me because I said that I was kind of excited to go see Superman. Like, he's like, you're lying, and I'm like, okay.
Like, how are you supposed to defend yourself against
I mean, but they're
that?
mad at me for saying I tacitly said that Jurassic World looks kind of cool, and they're mad at me about that too. Like,
yeah, what are they gonna say? Oh, there was dinosaurs.
People
they're copying.
love, like, it's like if you like anything, people in the Reddit are like, hold up.
Yeah.
hold up.
It's filled
like,
with contrarians.
Well, I said people get mad at you for
here.
liking things, and they get mad at me for disliking things.
Yeah.
So we can't win.
You can't win.
Can't win.
And look, I don't think that it's going to reach the visual look of Man of Steel, but I do appreciate, for just given the way movies are made these days, special effects done in the daylight rather than permanent dusk, which is where everything is filmed now to hide bad CGI. Yeah. So that's fine, but it just shows you that there are a bunch of shots that are at least similar in there. Now, the one that I thought was like, okay, a lot of this is like, look, Superman flies. That's fine. Like, okay, fine, whatever. But the choosing to throw like a can at him twice, that could be taken from the comics. I don't know. Like, if it's taken from the comics, then fair play. But in general, one of the coolest things they did do, and this is why bullying studios does work, in the trailer for the original version of the James Gunn Superman movie, when he gets hit with the can or whatever it is, he blinks, and they're like, Superman would never blink if he got hit in the head or the back of the can. They removed it in the new version of the trailer.
With AI?
I mean, they probably just, not with AI. They don't need to do AI to do that. They probably just did that with motion graphics.
Okay.
Post-production. So I thought that was kind of cool. But
what
anyways,
do we think? Do we think Malia Obama knowingly plagiarized?
Probably.
Or it was just subconscious thing that was just like she had seen something similar and didn't realize she was replicating.
Well, I didn't realize there was a copyright on patty cake now. Like,
this
is bad news for...
She invented patty cake.
Yeah, the pre-K community's in trouble. They're going to get lawyers coming after them.
I don't know how it works legally. Like, I think you have to prove that the person knew what they were doing when they replicated your content.
It would be very hard to prove.
Yeah. So she's kind of down on her luck. And everyone knows, like, Malia Obama is just going to be given opportunities because of her last name.
But
There's
she
nothing
doesn't
new
use
about
her
that.
last name. That's what she does. She goes by Malia Ann. She doesn't go by Malia Obama.
I guess they had no idea.
They're just like, this would be the greatest story in history, is like some like alt-right filmmaker hires her by accident and is like, oh, crap!
Yeah. Well, that was like LeBron James Jr. used to not wear 23 because he was like, I don't want to build on my dad's legacy. And everyone's like, at number 6, LeBron James Jr. You're like, who is that? Like, LeBron James Jr.? Who is this person?
It's like she's showing up to Sundance in Groucho glasses so that nobody knows she's related to the Obama family. Yep. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not buying that.
And if she went by like Malia Trump, you should throw some people off. They could throw them off, yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, personally, I respect not using the last name for clout, but let's be real. In the information age, that's but a mere...
You're not fooling anyone.
You're not fooling anyone. Yeah. All right.
Gen Z is obsessed with sweet treats. They're addicted to sweet treats. And you might think this is just dessert, right? But if there's anything Gen Z is going to do, it's they're going to adopt an existing social convention and slap an infantilizing label on it and pretend that they invented it all on their own.
It's Gen Z's favorite thing to do is to take things that have existed for decades and just give it a name or call it a trend.
Now understand, sweet treat is not just referring to a food item. This is a ritual of self-care.
Right.
Like they call doing your homework like assignment maxing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not just about the sweet treat that you're gonna consume. It's about the ritual of walking to the store and listening to your favorite song or podcast on the way, and the anticipation in you is growing. And you peruse the aisles for the perfect sweet treat. It's about what happened in your day to motivate you to get this sweet treat. Do you need to reward yourself for getting out of bed that morning or doing a menial task? Or are you getting a sweet treat to perk yourself up after you failed to do what you were supposed to do?
See, I try to avoid that. I will say, like, just for full transparency, I'm probably the worst offender of this.
Oh, I'm so pro sweet tweet, sweet treat.
Yeah. Like a sweet tweet.
Sweet tweet. Yeah, because like if I'll edit like one of Tim's shorts and then I'm like, and I go and get a Pop-Tart. Like every day, it's like it's what keeps me from not like doing heroin.
It's foolproof because you either accomplish the task and use the sweet treat as a reward, or you fail at whatever you were planning to do, and you commiserate, yes, with the sweet treat. So regardless, the outcome is still that you get a sweet treat.
I'm so pro this.
It's perfect.
This is awesome.
I'm literally the guy. I'm literally the meme. Don't mind if I do. As I reach into a thing of donuts.
This TikTok caption says, "Go get yourself a sweet treat right now. You deserve it. It will make you feel better, even marginally. It will get you out of bed temporarily. You will remember life is worth living because treats are worth having, and you deserve a treat."
I do believe that this is how all the generations are kind of dealing with the fact that they're never going to own homes. They're like, look, I'm never going to own a home, but I can definitely go get a crumble cookie after I finish my
We'll get to the capitalism theories later.
And I'm seeing a lot of talking about walking, a lot about treats. I think a dog wrote this article.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened here.
Exam went horribly? Sweet treat. Exam went well? Sweet treat. Either way, sweet treat culture will prevail. Or is this just a veil for Gen Z's need an instant gratification?
Olivia Claire says, this sounds like when you gave the special needs students candy when they finished reading a page, or yeah. She's calling me out right now. I'm the special needs student.
Are you special needs maxing?
That's me.
I want to show this TikToker showing her followers her sweet treat, forever perpetuating fun little treat culture.
Are we doing the Jonathan Gear one?
The TikTok.
The TikTok. Okay, hold on. Here we go.
Friends, here is your weekly reminder that it is Friday and you deserve a little treat. On my lunch today, I went out and I got myself a little treat. And was this latte $8.40? This latte, yes. Will it stop me from getting it in the future? Absolutely not. I just thought someone should know. $8.40. But do I deserve this little treat? Yes. And will I enjoy it? Yes. Will I ever own a home? Probably not. But I've got this.
Let's be nice, everyone.
Is she making the argument that that all the Gen Zers always kind of poo-poo, which is like when your boomer parents say don't go to Starbucks, and they're like as if that would actually help?
I think not going to Starbucks is not going to make you afford a down payment on a house one day, but knowing that you're never going to have something permanent is a reason to consume something temporary. But experts are worried that this feedback loop of sweet treats is bad for Gen Z's mental health. They say an over-reliance on sweet treats to get through the day can have negative implications, including becoming dependent on external rewards and too much focus on short-term gratification.
There is definitely some tech bro who's like using the language of like dog training to make this a thing in culture. Like some like wannabe Elon Musk, his like this is how he sells this is how he sells it to Starbucks when they do their ad campaign.
They're gonna turn us into sleeper cells. Like there's gonna be an ad one day and it's like, "Gonna go for a walk?" Be like, yeah. I mean, yeah. I also like
in Zoolander when the song kicks in.
This is it's very similar. I've been Santa maxing recently, which is where you order an Amazon package like 1 a.m, so you forget about it, and then like 3 days later it comes and you forget what it was. So then it's like opening a gift.
Totally.
It's Santa maxing.
Yeah,
I've been big on it for years.
I mean that
be your own Santa.
Yeah,
that definitely happens to me sometimes where I order something and sometimes they can't do the 2-day delivery and then it gets there like a week later. I'm like,
yeah, you're like, oh, dish detergent.
Oh, holy shit!
Thanks, Santa. That's exactly what I wanted.
And another concern is that sweet treat culture can be a challenge given its close ties to consumerism. It has the potential to strain finances and make people feel like they can't afford little treats, which is disheartening. But I think the reason Gen Z turns to sweet treats is because they know they're not going to be able to fulfill big life goals and milestones. So you might as well settle for a temporary little treat.
Yeah, and what's the implication? Like Cuba, they get sweet treats after their forced labor? Like, what's going on?
A lot of us have it rough. We can't afford big purchases, so we resort to little treats to reward us for knocking out big tasks, as is our right. This can be your morning coffee, a face mask, a brookie from Crumble. It's neat to try new things. This is the only thing that Gen Z has to motivate them to get out of bed in the morning.
I do think Crumble, if you're ordering Crumble every day, that's
Here's
a problem.
The thing,
that's
though,
like
guys.
$8 for a cookie.
I'm going to give you the hack right now.
Here we go.
Fiscally. Dollar store. You can treat Max at the dollar store.
So true, dude. It's crazy.
I treat Max at the dollar store every day. Like, yeah, I'm not even kidding you. Me and Olivia went to $3 stores in one day the other day because I was looking for a specific thing.
Dude, in high school,
it was the Brat Summer Energy drink that I had, and they didn't have it at any of the other ones. Like, finally, we went back to the one where I got it from, and like the guy right before me got the last one.
No,
yeah. That didn't actually happen, but they were like literally. It had every one in the row except for the one I wanted.
It's after I graduated high school. I didn't have any money, or not much money, so I went to Dollar Tree and I got milk there, and I slept for like 3 days.
Yeah.
I'll admit I'm guilty of
awesome.
sweet treat culture as well. Like a Zin for me, that's a sweet treat.
So true.
My morning coffee, that's a sweet treat.
Zin is a sweet treat.
It's so true.
They are sweet and a treat.
I mean, that is probably
flavor.
like latent in my brain after getting off drugs. It's probably like latent in my brain.
Yeah.
Like, give yourself a candy bar. Give yourself a candy bar. Plus, sugar is like more addicting than all of that stuff, anyways.
But not to circle back, but the dollar store sweet treats, the selection's really weird now. Like it's like dots and like 100-gram bars. It's like it's very obscure.
No, you get the Airhead bites.
Yeah, it's just stuff that you just wouldn't see.
It's my favorite. It's like 4D Dino gummies.
4D?
They're
what
called
are you
4D.
talking about?
Yeah.
Dude, I've been big on the Shackalicious gummies.
I haven't had those yet.
Oh, dude, they're all over the dollar stores. Or not the
but the
convenience
point
stores.
is like, so I get them and then I give Olivia the red ones because she wants the red
That's
ones.
nice. See, is that the key to a happy
Yes.
relationship? Yeah.
Yes. That's why I'm going to live happily ever after, ladies and gentlemen.
And everyone gets a sweet treat. Yeah.
It's literally something that she would probably mention it. Like every time I go, I get her like a specific type of candy and put it on the bedside table. There you go. So it's sweet gift culture as well.
It's just incredible.
Yeah. But yeah, it's because nobody's going to own homes and everyone's going to be miserable. Sorry, guys.
Some argue that sweet treats are actually a weapon of our capitalist system.
Probably true.
One Zoomer said sweet treat culture is a psyop by big evil to make you more complicit under capitalism. Sweet treat culture perpetuates capitalism. It's using buying things as motivation or reward. It's exactly what they want us to do. Sweet treat culture has financially ruined me. I must spend at least $8 a day in order to make my life feel like it has meaning.
It's so true.
That's so
You
sad.
do have to do that.
What was this other video?
But also, like,
Jonathan
when
Gear one?
dogs get treats, are they like, oh, I'm never going to own a kennel, so I need to have my bacon strip? Like, are they thinking about capital? No. It works for dogs. It's going to work for us.
Well, I don't know if you talked about this on the show, but a lot of Zoomers are starting to make coffee at home to give themselves a low-cost sweet treat. You can sweet treat on a budget, as is shown in this reel by Jonathan Gear. Cheap treats. So he figured out this brand new thing where you can make coffee at home, and he has a detailed tutorial on how to do so.
There was like the article last week about how like people were going to somebody's house together to drink coffee.
Oh, I never thought of doing that.
It's like going to a coffee shop.
They're like, it's like all of the coffee shop, but none of the money spent. Here we go. Let's watch this one here.
My apartment needs to go to
What the hell is Dutch Bros? What is this?
Oh, they're huge.
Canadian
They're all the
nonsense?
Texas.
Texas?
All
bro.
over.
I'm down to my digging and balls out here. I don't
Negative 62 cents.
have money for sweet little treats. Anyway, once a week I get lured in by the siren's call and end up exchanging one fly buzzing out of my pocket for some bullshit honky. Today is one of those days. You could also just make an entire gallon of this stuff in 3 minutes if you want. First off, I would like to direct your attention to the fact that the Walmart Magic Coffee Jar is $5. You could fill up an entire Dutch Bros large 20 times with this amount of coffee. Minor problem. The Walmart Magic Coffee tastes like, well, I actually don't mind the taste, but I'm scared of all the dudes who make coffee with contraptions on here, so I feel obligated to say it's bad. It's harsh, it's acidic, the beans were clearly a little burnt.
Get some Ian's Graphene Dream if it's
So
too acidic,
true.
bro.
And wait a minute, I was drinking the wrong coffee. This is a Dutch Bros Americano. So clearly we have the right base. We just gotta give it a little TLC. I think the most important part of the chain coffee experience is a nice cup. Replace the friendly cup and straw with this bottle, and it doesn't even look like a treat anymore. You can't even see what's in there. So peep this insane method. Every time you go to Dutch Bros, ask for water. That's it. It's like the most important part of the experience, and they're just giving it away for free. And now that we got the clear cup, ooh, we're really cooking in here. So take this Jonathan, and dump it into a pot of half and half. Now I know what you're thinking. Half and half? Gadzooks. How rich and creamy. But it's okay, since it gets so hot, it's going to melt the ice when it enters the cup, thereby creating a liquid with a similar fat content by volume to whole milk. So let's make it creamier. Hell yeah.
He sounds talking about coffee the way potheads talk about pot that are really into it.
No, when you serve it this way, you realize that like 90% of the sweet little treat experience isn't even the drink, it's just the random garbage you use to present the drink. If I were like 12, I think I'd call this aura. But can you really enjoy a sweet little treat without thinking about heterogeneity? I can't. Maybe that makes me a geek, but you may notice I didn't mix caramel into the pot, despite the fact that we are making a caramel-flavored coffee. How odd. The thing is, when you substitute pot caramel with cup caramel, it creates a drink where each sip has varying strengths of caramel flavor. This is the best thing on the planet, and it's called heterogeneity. Remember it. Turns out for the price of one Dutch Bros big drink, you can fill up an entire gallon jug with this stuff. Do you know how much flipping coffee that is? It's absurd. Look at this foolish individual with his big baba. Now it's time to talk about the elephant in the room. If you make coffee at home, you miss out on it get it served to you by a baddie with piercings. Now if you are a baddie with piercings, you can skip this step, but I found it easiest to just invite random baddies from dating apps into my apartment, get them to hand me the coffee, and then kick them out. What do you think of this method? Whoever put
This guy's a genius.
Yeah, he was made for this.
This is
Like,
brilliant.
this guy could sell this to a brand right now.
Oh yeah.
I know, because I just...
They're just giving this knowledge away
I
for
know.
free.
I've been making Keurig for like survival. And
So,
making
yeah,
Keurig
like-
is the most depressing experience in your entire life.
A lot of it is like the experience of having the disposable cup with the logo on
Yeah.
it. But if you just keep one at home, you can make it
Like,
yourself.
I think producing trash is good for your mental health because, like, I exist. I'm a person. I create rubbish.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like, when I put my garbage can out and it's full, I'm like, I had a good week.
Yeah.
See, the worst thing
I
is,
exist.
though, is like we have to have this discussion, and there is somebody who's making an argument as to why this is like the downfall of, or why capitalism is the downfall of society, and I just don't want to have
This
that
is like
discussion.
this is why capitalism's awesome, because you can like drink, just put so much sugar in coffee, like 100 milligrams. Like, it's incredible. I'm
Yeah.
just like getting excited thinking about it. I'm gonna do this when I get home.
There you go. So that's just something to think about. And now you finish that segment, guys. Go and get your sweet treat before we
Yeah.
get into topic one.
I would say that there's a moral to the story, but I'm a victim of sweet treat culture myself, so
There you
I don't have any wisdom to dispense.
Okay. All right. What would you guys like to see? Cringe or cute of the day? I may need you to resend me cringe. I'm not sure if I've got it here.
Oh. Okay,
let me-
we'll start
let me
with
double
cute
let me
then, I
double
guess.
check and make sure. No, I don't. I have the one from yesterday.
Okay.
So resend it to me here.
Well, we'll start with cute then.
We'll start with cute today. All right.
Just sent you the link.
Oh,
This one is from Fire Eyes 007. This is Mo. He is 10 years old, a bit of an a-hole, and a yogurt addict. He can hear the sound of a yogurt lid being peeled off from anywhere in the house. This is him chilling with me in the garden. We both send love from Canada.
Why does he look so badass?
He does not
he
look
looks
like he sends love. He looks like he sends violence.
He looks like he means business.
Yes, he
I didn't know
does.
cats liked yogurt.
I didn't
I
die.
That's
didn't either.
crazy.
I didn't know.
I'm learning so much today.
That's the point of the show, man. All right, let's do the cringe of the day. All right.
This is a cringe musical performance, so
It says,
I know you're
did a
gonna love it."
COVID-19 anniversary tribute freestyle to What's Poppin' by Jack Harlow.
Oh, no.
Talk about somebody who just disappeared one day.
This is a sacred song, so she better be
Yeah.
careful.
I can't believe on this day it's been 5 years since the pandemic. We didn't know what to think, then introverts became extroverts, and the extroverts became introverts over time. Nothing stays the
Yeah.
same. Hey.
Oh, she ate.
this comment.
She left no crumbs.
Fire.
This comment is amazing. You look like you're scared of every word coming out of your own mouth. She does. She looks like she's afraid she's gonna say the N-word.
Dude, yeah, she probably did like 8 takes. Oh, come on! Get it together! Malia Obama didn't steal it. Get it together!
That was awful.
You're
No,
welcome.
that was awesome. Yeah, I want more from her. Oh, she should collab with the guy I was on like 2 weeks ago, and he did the freestyle rap. I think there's a
Andre
Emerging
Day
market.
is shaking in her boots right now. Okay. Holy crap. Let's move on.
All right. Pedro Pascal's queer baiting and overall zesty behavior is killing anticipation for the upcoming Fantastic Four movie, which is to be released in July this year. There was a video of him at a rave posted by a Pedro Pascal updates account on X, and they said, "Who is this diva?" Here's the funny thing. Brett prepared me for what I was about to watch before I saw this video this morning. And I hadn't seen even a thumbnail. Like, I didn't know anything about what I was about to watch. And I said, he's about to hold a phallic object and lick it, isn't he? And that's exactly what he did.
Here.
So let's take a look.
So maybe they should show this right before Fantastic Four.
Emotionally prepare yourself. Yeah.
Oh.
Like, he really thought that was the moment.
He's living his best life. Well, now here he's working out. Now he's doing bench press.
This guy?
And we're supposed to believe this man is straight, by the way.
I just looked this up. This guy's my dad's age.
He's 50 years old, and this is how he is acting.
Yep.
Could you imagine if you were in a Zest off and this was your opponent? Dude, you'd be shaking in your boots.
I just so it's kind of twofold. It's the fact that everybody's on the internet clowning on this, on top of the fact that everyone just kind of wants him to go away because he's overexposed, because he's put into everything these days. And people joke a lot about Zendaya being in everything, but Zendaya would never.
Pedro's giving Zendaya a run for her money, definitely.
Zendaya would have been fine.
He also, at Cannes, tried to replicate a photo of Harrison Ford from 1982 and failed miserably.
Here's Harrison Ford. Like, it looks like he's about to just leave and go film one of his Jack Ryan movies. Like,
Looks
one of his
super cool.
It's like, I'm gonna go
unmatched.
make Clear and Present Danger.
And then we've got Pedro.
No.
And this fan account said, Pedro is giving Harrison Ford at Cannes in 1982 realness, and I'm absolutely living for it.
These were my favorite comments. This person says, Harrison Ford is giving dad on holiday while Pedro Pascal is giving convicted sex offender at a BDSM party. This person says, Harrison Ford isn't forcing the suave, Pedro Pascal is. Harrison Ford is a top 5 most aura of all times. Never compare Pedro Pascal to him again. Yeah, Harrison Ford is an aura dude. He always was.
He has been. And I think it's really cool how, like, when people ask him about any movie he did, he just gets angry.
He's like, I don't know. Like, I don't really care. Like, why'd you make that movie? I don't know. They paid me.
Yeah, like, I ran from a boulder. Big deal.
Yeah.
Still doesn't match the aura of Liam Neeson just unashamedly pissing his pants all the time.
That is true.
Like,
That's true.
He still wins out.
There's still never been an explanation for that, but I love it.
He just doesn't like the depends. They're uncomfortable.
The only way that he could evolve past that is to wear the short shorts and just let the pee go down his leg.
Now, I was
tough.
wondering about this. A lot of people think Pedro Pascal is gay and in the closet. And I wanted to find out if he had ever publicly been in a relationship with a woman, because he has been working in the industry for a very long time. You would think it would happen by now, but never.
It doesn't matter. Like, it would be weird, like, in the year 2025. Like,
why would you hide the fact that you're gay when it's completely socially acceptable? I think that Pedro benefits from queer baiting, and it causes more of a conversation to keep people guessing. But I looked into his dating history. They say it's relatively low-key with few confirmed relationships. He was linked to Jennifer Aniston after a 3-hour-long dinner date in Los Angeles, but then clarified that they're just friends.
If I was a celebrity, I would just go out on, like, long dinner dates just to throw people off.
Yeah.
Like, just go out for dinner for extended periods of time.
Yeah.
2014, rumors suggested he was dating Lena Headey?
Lena Headey from Game of Thrones.
His co-star from Game of Thrones, but these were never confirmed. He was also rumored to be in a relationship with Maria Dizia, a co-star from Law & Order, but also never confirmed. And there were also speculations about a relationship with Robin Tooney.
Yeah, so his character dated her character in The Mentalists in season 6.
But
so
then he described her as just a friend.
They basically took all of the women that he's ever shared screen time with and did the Hollywood thing, which is to, like, leak fake dating rumors.
Yeah.
And then he was also seen with a DJ and influencer named Simi Kadra, but they both said, oh, we're like family. And the only other rumor was about a singer named Omar Apollo.
Oh, I know him, yeah.
But then they also said that they're just friends. So Pedro Pascal has, to my knowledge, never been in a public relationship of any kind with a woman.
Maybe he's like that one person that's actually asexual.
I will say, I spoke with my friend. I saw this clip last night, full disclosure. I spoke with my friend. He's from Argentina. He reliably informed me that this is just how people from Chile are.
Really?
Like,
it's a cultural thing.
They're just like this. Like, they're just zesty. I don't know if that's true. So if you're like Chilean and you're in the audience, like, maybe correct the record. But I was told that Latinx, they're known for this.
So this is the globalism that we don't have enough knowledge about.
I think that's what it is. I think this is just a cultural thing.
I mean,
just
like,
being zesty.
He did move to the U.S. as a baby, so I'm not sure if I really
Maybe it's genetic.
DNA.
Maybe it's genetic,
It's
yeah.
DNA.
I mean, I think that a straight man can have a certain level of suave and style and a certain je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
And maybe that comes off as a little fruity these days, but I think it can work. It's just not.
I mean, that's
whatever this is. It doesn't involve licking phallic objects.
There's a huge difference between flamboyance and, as they say down south, someone that's a little light in the loafers.
Right, exactly. You can be light in the loafers and still be a heterosexual man.
True.
And
I've been doing it for years.
Women can find it quite attractive, but that doesn't involve what you saw Pedro
My loafers
Pascal
have a
doing.
little weight to them, but they're pretty light.
I love how that phrase is used in like a show if they want to show just how backwards the oldest cop in the precinct says that about somebody who's like just started on the job, and they're like, Bob, you can't say that anymore.
Dude, I was at my friend's house like when I was a kid. I remember this vividly, and his older brother was gay, and everyone knew it. And my friend, it was his little brother, was like talking to his mom about it, and she was like, "No, he's just creative." It was awesome. I think he's dead now, the older brother, but.
And then also, so there was also this other quote going around. Again, the main point of this is just to say that it's not really giving excitement for Fantastic Four.
Would being gay or possibly gay preclude him from playing a superhero role?
No, it wouldn't. I don't think so.
Like, would it be too hard to look past his zestiness and buy?
No, we can't have Superman being gay because he has the X-ray vision. That's a problem. It's a conflict of interest.
So in Fantastic Four, his power is that he stretches.
Yeah.
I mean, I just said the jokes write themselves. I won't even try to make them myself. You in the chat, you can do it. But I don't know what this says about Pedro Pascal's sexuality or lack thereof. He encouraged his Materialists co-star Dakota Johnson to start an OnlyFans, which was revealed in a recent interview with Elle.
Yeah.
And she's giving people dating advice, and OnlyFans came up.
I'm not going to lie, this segment made me... I was already a fan of Dakota Johnson because... what's it called? Was so great.
Because of Madam Web.
Madam Web
right.
was just a Hollywood masterpiece. But now I'm an even bigger fan of her because of this interview.
Noticed my boyfriend was following OnlyFans models on Instagram. Should I be worried? I don't know anything about that. I don't know. OnlyFans is the place where people go to watch people do weird things. Are OnlyFans models hot? Are they different to regular models? Pedro Pascal told me that I should have an OnlyFans and that I could just like wiggle my toe and make money.
He didn't even tell her to do OnlyFans. He went straight to the feet.
Yeah.
He wants the feet.
I'm not the right person to ask for advice.
As I said,
it gets worse.
Keep going.
Yes.
Okay.
She getting swatted?
That's Pedro.
He's like, yo, you got to keep that on the down low.
Get out of here. Grow up. That's my answer for everything to everyone. Grow up. I feel like I would look at OnlyFans models on Instagram if I knew how to do that. It sounds interesting. Sounds intriguing.
I'm sorry, I don't buy that Dakota Johnson has never heard of OnlyFans and doesn't know
what is going on.
So here's my thing.
I don't know what a dating app is. I don't know what Instagram is. I don't know what OnlyFans is.
Last week I said she's very Gwyneth Paltrow coded, and now I think she's kind of going overboard to make herself Gwyneth Paltrow coded because it makes sense because I learned today that she is apparently like engaged to Gwyneth Paltrow's ex-husband and they're friends.
Yeah.
Well, and you see how high the production quality was? I mean, like, what is going on with normies? We talk like, what is going on? They're just sitting down and watching this with their family.
No, but seriously, some of the segments that Brett Cooper did that were the best, that had the highest views, were the stuff like that.
Well, they
where
just
they'd
like
sit her down in a
did
chair.
the same format.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah, I just don't like her.
You know, the people that
vibe.
watch that go to Costco. I've seen them in Costco. They look
Costco.
Yeah, but you know, there's a type of person you only see at Costco.
Okay.
They just kind of spawn there. I think they watch that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's
I'm okay with
dating
it. It was pretty
Gwyneth
entertaining.
Paltrow's sloppy seconds and Chris Martin.
Pedro didn't even tell her to like start with just like regular photos. He said go straight to the feet.
That's what I think it is. He's not straight. He's not gay. He's just feet sexual. His entire orientation is just feet.
Well, Malia should have consulted him for the Nike commercial with the shoes. He'd be an expert.
But there's just too much social stigma around being a foot fetishist these days that he can't come out of the closet.
I do love how divorced she is from reality, that the sirens indicate something bad is happening.
Yeah.
And she's like, would you knock that off?
Yeah, like, doesn't care at
Let
all.
the cat die in the tree, she says.
There's
Like,
someone in that ambulance fighting for their life. And she's like, hey, I'm trying to talk about feet here.
I'm trying to record a video.
Just ignore the burning building. I'm trying to get an interview done.
The worst day of someone's life, and she's talking about her toes.
Yeah.
Like, relax, lady.
Okay, let's move on then.
All right. Shane H. Wilder said, Happy Taco Tate Tuesday. Brett, Mary, and Tate. Pedro Pascal dancing around like a Thai lady boy is the gayest cringe I've been forced to see all week.
So true.
Yeah, I mean, that's an insult to Thai lady boys. At least they're
I've
committing
heard-
to the bit.
I've heard they have like a code.
Really?
Oh, yeah, they're pretty serious. Like, for one, they always identify as men.
Oh, right, because like
Right.
culturally, it's just not the same thing as like being
Yeah.
trans.
Also, like, I met a guy in South Africa who's like, I went to Thailand to figure out the ladyboy situation.
Figure out the lady boy
I'm like, what do you? What's
situation?
mysterious?
Like, like depending
Did you get
on the
answers?
year,
Like-
depending on the year, that's a Vice documentary if I've ever heard one.
Yeah.
We're far enough back.
He's like, I was just curious. Like, I had to figure out this. I'm like, dude, all right.
I was on my way to be a passport bro, and I decided to figure out the Thai
Let's
lady
get the
boys
scale
instead.
out. Let's get the scale out. Get your loafers out. We're gonna see how light these things are.
It was for research purposes only.
Yeah.
Dinkus Khan said, "Hear me out. Betty Boop had beautiful legs."
Betty Boop.
is
What are you,
still-
80?
Is Betty Boop a hear me out?
Yeah. What
Does
is he,
she
like
count?
an Air Force pilot in the 40s?
I mean, is it allowed to be like a cartoon that's of a human?
I think so.
Like,
Yeah, but
okay.
so
so
old.
like Betty Rubble is like okay, but okay.
That's old hands wrote that.
It's like if I said
We're gonna get
Fred
old-
Flintstone was my hear me out.
Yeah,
But hear me out, Popeye the Sailor Man. They're like, what?
Honestly
then-
though,
Look at
Popeye.
forums. Yeah.
But people would be like, you're gonna think of John Goodman as Fred Flintstone.
I
from
hear me out, it's Elmer Fudd. He's a charmer.
Wile E. Coyote.
Weary Traveler said, "Hear me out. The nurses from Silent Hill 2."
The nurse
That
is
wouldn't be the first time I've heard that
doing some
as a
research.
hear me out.
The nurse
Yeah.
is Silent
Shane H.
Hill.
Wilder said, "Hear me out. The Gongo."
You can't do that.
This is your
a
hear-
place?
The nurse. What on earth is going on?
Is it like the shape of the country? What's the shape of the country? Does it have like an hourglass figure on the map?
Could
I
be.
guess we can believe it's shaped however we want.
Let's do one more.
Adam said, "You should watch Men with a Pot Cooking Outdoor."
I mean, so the crux of most camping videos is like same with like if you watch like the long haul trucking videos, which I also like. It's all about like, okay, it's about the camping, but really it's because then they make food,
Right.
and then you watch them make food,
right.
Right.
and it looks cozy.
Does it make you want to do the same thing, or
Yes.
are you fine with just watching them?
Both. It does for like 10 minutes, and then
Okay.
There's a
and then that
guy.
fades.
There's a guy. He does a truck simulator, and it's it's all built. People made this joke. It's all built out, and then he door dashes like fast food, so then he gets the experience of. It's awesome. I saw him on TikTok.
All right, let's hold off on the
All
rest.
right.
Let's come back.
Luke Nichols, the YouTuber behind the massively successful channel Outdoor Boys, just announced that his channel is taking an indefinite hiatus so that he can prioritize the safety and well-being of his family over growing this as a business and getting more traction and more followers. So it seems like a heartwarming story about choosing family over fame, but some of his own fans are furious at his decision and are instead blaming his wife for allegedly forcing him to quit at his social media career so that she can be the center of attention.
As you're learning, if you guys paid attention to Scott Adams' cancer diagnosis yesterday, the worst part a lot of times for being a creator with a certain level of following is that there's a lot of people that love you, and there's a lot of people that love you just a little too much, and it's a bit overbearing.
Turns parasocial real
so
quick.
they're like, Scott Adams is like, I have cancer. They're like, did you try ivermectin? It's not the time.
He's like,
it's not the place.
Bro, I'm about to die.
Yeah,
like,
it's not the time. It's not the place. And
chill
in
with
this
that.
case here, they're going to second guess him because they think they have his best interests at heart, but it's not their job to have his best interests at heart.
But the gist of his content is he made videos about camping and exploring with his 3 sons. That's why it was called Outdoor Boys. His own son, Tommy, actually has just created his own channel, which is now close to 1 million subs on YouTube. Maybe it's already reached that.
Yeah.
It's growing quickly because of the announcement that he's quitting. So some people see a contradiction in him choosing to step away from YouTube, but then simultaneously encouraging his son to continue building his platform.
It feels contradictory.
Because, you know, if you're trying to have more privacy for your family, obviously encouraging your 12-year-old son to be a YouTube star is not the best way to reach that goal. But I wanted to play this clip of his goodbye video. He now has 15 million subscribers, and his channel grew really, really fast in the last year and a half or so.
Seemed like he had 2 million for a long time, but then like exploded over the last year and a half. Here we go.
Hey everyone, this is going to be my last video for a little while. You know, I've been making YouTube videos for 11 years now. Been a wild ride. The amount of time and energy that I've dedicated to making YouTube videos is hard to communicate. So many late nights editing and packing and unpacking, camping with pneumonia, building log cabins while injured. But it's been a tremendous adventure, and it's allowed me to provide for my family while making wonderful memories with my wife and kids. But even good things can be taken too far, and I think I'm starting to reach that point. My wife and I, we both have real concerns about what this will do to our family if I keep growing my YouTube channel at this pace. And the time to stop is before this problem gets so out of hand that my family and I can't live normal lives. Now, there's more than one reason for making this decision, and I still enjoy making videos and I still enjoy going on ventures, but it's time to start focusing on other things. And that's what I'm going to be doing. For one thing, I've got 3 little boys who all want to be YouTubers, including my oldest son, Tom, who's got his own channel, the Outdoor Tom YouTube channel. But I want to spend more time helping him with his channel and preparing him to be an adult, which is going to be in less than 6 years. But I've spent so much time focusing on me and my family and growing my business. It's time to step back and focus on helping other people for a change. And I'm excited to see where that takes me. This is going to be my last video for a while. Now, I know there's some of you out there who've gotten more than just entertainment from my videos. If you feel my videos have helped you in some way, then go out and find someone you can help. I'll see you guys later.
You know that every YouTuber dreams the day they get to make the goodbye video that just says goodbye, period. At the very end.
It also
I gotta
has
say, this is
the sigh at the beginning.
Yeah, this is the biggest blow to White Boy Summer. I think it might be canceled.
So is it true he's a criminal defense attorney?
In his day job, at least from what I heard, yeah.
Okay.
So maybe he's focusing on his normal
Maybe
job.
Diddy hired him and he's got to go to work. He's like they're bringing in the big guns. Like the trials.
Or Harvey Weinstein, maybe.
Yeah, the trial's not going how they wanted it to.
Is it White Boy Summer?
Well, not anymore after this.
I guess that White Boy Summer is
canceled.
canceled.
Cancel it.
Also, I hereby declare that if Malia Obama can't go by Malia Obama, he can't be Outdoor Tom. He has to just be Tom.
His son.
He can't be Outdoor Tom.
No
and
free
also,
clout.
if you're a real Outdoor Boys fan, you're gonna agree with this. It's the kids kind of get in the way. We're here for the big dog. You know, save the little kumbaya family time for behind the camera, okay? Because it's like he's trying to build like a giant fortress with a trench and everything, and the kids are like, "When's dinner?" It's like, dude, just stop. Let him cook a little bit, all right?
You know, yeah, he.
Don't make dinner, let him cook.
Yeah, literally.
In his video, he mentioned the fact that every time he goes out now, people recognize him and stop him for pictures, and it's gotten overwhelming for him as the channel has grown so fast over a short period of time. And that's why him and his wife were concerned about the safety of the family. But other people, despite the fact that he's disabled comments on his video, are having conversations about this decision. And one said, he poured his heart and soul into this so that he could make it big. Then when he did, his wife slammed the brakes because she wanted to be the center of attention again. But then someone said, ironically, posts like this are part of the problem he's referring to. Thinking you have insight into his personal family life and what his wife thinks and then posting about it is a huge downside of being famous. This is what he's trying to avoid.
Again, like pragmatically, like you can't escape it. If you want the platform of that size, you have to deal with the inane comments and speculation of people that you'll never actually meet in the real world. But that's a side effect of the fame. And it's up to that person to make the value judgment as to whether that's something they want in their life. But very few people get that opportunity. I did see people saying, like, he's going to learn real hard when he comes back that the algorithm gods don't strike twice. I'm like, with that many followers, it may take a while to pick back up, but I'm sure he would be fine.
It sounds like he's not coming back. He did say that he has some videos that are still in the works, and he's just going to drop them all toward the end of the year all at once. But then after that, he's gone. Another person said, imagine how much money he could have set his children up with if he kept building up his platform. This is just a sign that people think money is the only thing that matters instead of the well-being of your family. Like, setting up your children with a trust fund from your YouTube revenue is not necessarily as valuable as maintaining their privacy so they can go out in public and not be like approached by strangers.
Yeah, not everybody wants that level of fame.
Yeah, but he's always in the Alaskan wilderness. Who's he running into? Like, what, did a moose recognize him?
I mean, I guess in his day-to-day life when he's not making videos, he's out and going into town.
Also, like, look, I'll just be completely frank. I want more content. You know, the family, you know, I don't know, higher security. Like, get him some armed guards. We need more content.
You do have the resources to have security, too.
Can we clone him and leave him at home and then let him go make content?
Yeah, like, what are we doing?
You could have reached a middle ground here where you feature just yourself in your videos. Your kids don't have to be a part of the content, and it probably would have been smarter to do that in the first place. But now the cat's out of the bag. There's kind of no going back on it once your kids' faces are out there.
I mean, he also talked about how, like, it's difficult because it's getting stressful on his body. He talks about getting home late and unpack. Like, I imagine that type of stuff isn't for the faint of heart.
Seeing this man in a courtroom is going to be seeing, like, a caged lion. It's like, you know what he's capable of.
He's going to get worse at his job because he doesn't have his outlet anymore.
Yeah, he's going to be, like, dismantling the desk and building a lodge.
Like, his clients are like, shouldn't you be objecting more? He's like pulling the leg off and reattaching it. I don't know. Like, it's the thing is, though, is like the upside to being a content creator is you're not going to be stuck in some contract. If you want to stop, you can. And a lot of people get used to the people that they love staying on too long at something.
Right, exactly. Some people said it's better to quit while you're on top because you don't want to be the subject of video essays that are like, the downfall of outdoor boys.
Should be studied.
Right, like people analyzing how your channel crashed and burned later on down the line. It's probably better to call it quits while you're still winning in the algorithm.
It all went wrong when he upgraded his equipment. It all became about the glitz and the glamour.
So he stayed in a hotel once and became trans.
But I'm not really into this type of content to begin with, so I wasn't aware of the channel existing before it, you know.
Well, I remember the guy who did the stealth camping videos. He, his wife died, and then he retired for a period of time, but I think he came back.
Okay.
Well, there was one stealth camper guy, and he camped on that little island in like the East River in New York, where like you can't get to. And then he like didn't upload for like four weeks, and he was like, "Yeah, sorry, I got like tetanus."
Or the two saddest examples that I can think of were like, my guilty pleasure are dogs with YouTube channels.
Oh.
And there was two.
Does it have like a narrator? Or?
It's the, well, I mean, it's the,
no, narrator.
It's the owner. I mean, it's the owner who, it's the channel is in the dog's name, but it's the owner taking the dog on adventures, right? And the dogs are famous, so they're known everywhere they go because they've got millions of subscribers. And so there was two. There was Sherpa and Key. and they were friends. They lived in like different parts of England, and then they like both died within like 6 months. It was the most depressing thing in the entire world. Like I was like, when Sherpa died, I'm like, oh, Sherpa was old. That's sad as hell. And then like 6 months later, they're like, Key died. I'm like, what the? That dog wasn't even old. That's just the algorithm hate. That's just God hating.
And that's got to be rough if you're the same breed as them, getting confused.
They were both. I think they were both like Malamutes.
Like, could you imagine being a golden retriever after Airbud dropped? You're in the airport, like, oh my gosh,
It's
like, it's not me. It's not me. No.
I love Luna the Panther on Instagram. There's like this family that just owns a panther and keeps it inside.
Yeah. That's terrifying.
Its best friend is they have a dog and they're best friends. The dog and the panther are best friends.
That's gonna end horribly.
They're in Russia.
Oh, so it's fine because they're in Russia.
It was one of the biggest shows in Japan in the 2000s. Was a bulldog and it was a chimpanzee and they're friends. And then the chimp like went all Hollywood and then he attacked one of the producers. So they cut the show off. Yeah, yeah. He totally had like an Alec Baldwin
diva
moment.
behavior.
Yeah.
There weren't enough bananas at craft services.
Oh, dude, he flipped out. Yeah, and then the bulldog died because he was like 10. So, so the Japanese, big hole in the market. If you have pets and one of them shouldn't be a pet, get the camera out.
Well, this decision was probably for the best. I don't believe the rumors that this guy fell victim to the longhouse and he was forced by his bitch wife to quit his YouTube channel. I think that this was a decision that he made on his own as an adult. And, you know, people forget that YouTubers are people that have private lives, and it appears that they're revealing everything to you. They're not sharing even like 1% of it most of the time.
Because the most boring and oftentimes the most detrimental stuff to your life isn't interesting enough to be shared. Like I want a channel where it's just me opening bills and being like, oh. like every month it's just you get more comical. Like, oh
yeah, like
the
forgot
bill, it's the same bill as it was the last month. It's on auto pay. I'm like, oh.
You could like document your wedding planning process.
I would never do that. Like, first of all, that just sounds like a lot of
people do.
So much work as it is. Like I saw, what was it? Morgan like posted like a stop motion video of their proposal. I'm like, bro, that was like you had to like coordinate with like a person, and then like somebody had to edit that, and like I just want to get married, bro.
Yeah, but people do like monetize.
It's also private. Like it's like I share more than you probably should, in my opinion. Like I share some. Like we got our wedding bands the other day. We ordered our wedding bands the other day, and even that's like a little bit too much sharing, in my opinion. Like it's something private between the two of you.
Some guys have capitalized on the mundane, like the Hub's Life guy.
Yeah.
That guy was
can't
depressing.
Stand that
was
guy.
so depressing. Oh, it was horrible.
He's awful.
And then but then there's one guy, he mows his lawn. That's all he does, and it's awesome.
Oh, men probably love that.
And he gets
shit.
sand out and like levels it. I'm like, yeah, it's looking good, dude. I'll comment. Like,
power washing videos go hard.
Yeah.
So does any type of woodworking video goes hard.
See, all these people who are upset about Outdoor Boys, they're gonna forget about him in no time.
I mean, that's the real sad part, right? Is like the difference is like, unfortunately, like you'll think back fondly if it comes back up.
Right.
But like you won't miss it the same way you miss other things.
There's no shortage of content out there, for sure.
All right, Superchats.
Weary Traveler said, we need nerds arguing about comic book heroes and the jocks shoving them into lockers, and then America will be great again.
Probably right.
Just bringing back the old social order. Shane H. Wilder said, there is a reason filmmakers don't read unsolicited scripts. It can cause arguments of theft, even if it is unintentional.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Malia Obama to just straight up rip somebody off, but who knows? Shane H. Wilder said, people just want something to complain about. Remember when Mary said she didn't like rich men north of Richmond and everyone lost their minds?
Everyone was so mad.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
I remember.
Yeah, that was stupid. And then where's Oliver Anthony now? I thought he was the next big thing.
He's doing the Pedro Pascal routine.
No, didn't he left the industry?
I don't even know what that means. He was like never in the industry to begin with.
He was like in the woods until
the video.
He
tried to organize one concert and everyone got pissed off at him because the tickets were too expensive. And
he was so bitter that conservatives liked the song.
Yeah, exactly.
He was so mad about it.
Yeah, he was never really like political in the first place.
Oliver Anthony is stepping away from the traditional music industry to focus on a traveling ministry.
Okay.
He's
So
on his
he's a
Johnny
pastor.
Cash
He
arc.
has announced that he will no longer be working with Nashville music companies and plans to transition his business to a traveling ministry.
He's
Okay.
a pastor now, or?
Yeah, I guess. Says resides in Farmville, Virginia as of 2023. Him and his wife. Okay.
All right.
Well, he didn't want the glitz and the glamour. I get it.
He got a Wikipedia.
Cool.
There you go. Counts for something.
Shane H. Wilder said that chick don't need a sweet treat. Her blood type is already chocolate pudding. It's all so Pavlovian. Yeah, I don't know how you can like record yourself knowing that that's like what you look like and be talking about sweet treats. Like you don't need a sweet treat. Just say that you're fat. It's fine. Adam said, I think the AI is alive and training humanity.
Probably. So I was watching, this is a complete aside, but I was like rewatching Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning last night. And I just love how like tacked on the AI part of it is.
Right.
They used it cleverly once in the whole movie, which is when he's like getting instructions. I've seen all the movies multiple times. I can never remember Simon Pegg's character's name. Same with Ving Rhames. I can never remember their character names. Luther. Anyways, he's like running and trying to get to Ilsa, and the AI mimics the other character's voice to like send him in the wrong place. And that was like the one time they used the AI in like a clever way in the movie. The rest of it is just kind of meh.
One that's like more realistic.
Also, I was thinking about this. His big stunt that he does, the driving the motorcycle off the cliff and then using the parachute, they did that in GoldenEye practical. At the end of the intro in GoldenEye, the plane goes off the bridge, or I'm sorry, off the cliff without a pilot, and then he drives off the cliff and then gets the parachute and then catches up to it's the most unrealistic thing you've ever seen in your entire life, but apparently they did that practical, not with Pierce Brosnan.
But why didn't he get the credit?
Because Pierce Brosnan didn't do the stunt.
Oh, okay.
Just like
That's why they have the new Oscar.
He didn't do the stunt at the beginning of the movie. There's like a when he jumps off the dam and then rappels into the top of the building, but that was done by like a world famous like base jumper.
Weary Traveler said, I'm part of the sweet treat cult. I will have my gummy worms.
So true.
There you go. Yes, he had no parachute. Oh, there was no parachutes? Yeah, but I'm assuming he had a parachute when he did the stunt. Like,
so there was no parachute in the movie.
In the movie, no parachute, but I'm guessing that the actor had the parachute because he didn't die.
Right.
Like, that's my guess.
They went through 4 stunt doubles.
It's about cinema.
They're giving him the layout, and at the end, he's like, so like, do I get a parachute?
Like, no, you get a sweet treat.
It's at the bottom. It's at the bottom of the mountain.
There's a Tootsie Roll at the bottom for you.
All right. Let's hold off on the rest. Let's come back.
All right. I don't know if you know this, but it's 2025. It's not 2015 anymore.
Let's hold off. Hold on. We'll start over.
It's only our first crisis party
Only the first crisis party. What the hell?
Hey, what's going on?
Come
Open
on.
the checkbooks.
I'm pissed.
Open the checkbooks.
Yeah.
Like, I like the idea that somebody like scans a check.
Yeah, it's like, who do I
sends
make
through.
this out to? Tim? I don't know.
Scans a check and sends it through. Like, bro, I'm not at home. I don't have my scanner.
Well, it's probably the guy that did the Betty Boop comment.
Yeah.
Like 80-year-old watching. Who do I make this out to?
Get a Xerox copy. Yeah. All right, let's start over. Scan your checks.
Right.
Scan your checks in now, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
I'm getting it together.
You got it.
It is 2025. It's not 2015 anymore, so I don't think anyone cares or gets offended about celebrities culturally appropriating. I don't think that's really a conversation that still goes on. So instead of getting offended about it, I think we should go through a bunch of the famous examples of celebrities appropriating different cultures and decide which ones are our favorites, who did it best, who wore a geisha costume the best,
Is
who
it
wore
geisha
cornrows
or
the
geisha?
best.
Somebody in the chat let us know. Is it geisha
I thought
or
it was
geisha?
geisha.
That's what I thought too.
Let us know if you have a strong opinion
So are
about
we
the
just
pronunciation.
gonna start at the top here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we
So
go.
I mean, it starts with Ariana Grande, and we're already off to a bad start because what she did is not cultural appropriation. Ariana just switched races like 7 times.
I like
the one on the left. What is she, like an airline stewardess? Is that the race?
I like the meme that says like, I like how Ariana Grande could play the Little Mermaid or the Little Mermaid.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess in the first photo, she kind of looks like a K-pop star. She was Asian fishing for a minute there. She used to have a really, really dark spray tan and have a black scent, which was weird. We have Katy Perry. So the first one, she's dressed up like I don't know, I guess a geisha. Mm-hmm. And in the second one, you see her with cornrows. I don't know where this even comes from.
I feel like when Chappell Roan looks in the mirror on a good day, this is what she thinks she looks like.
What do you mean?
Like riffraff?
The eye.
What?
Yep.
What does this have to do with Chappell Roan?
She has Chappell Roan's dead eyes here.
What brought Chappell Roan's name into this?
The eyes. She has Chappell Roan's dead eyes.
Well, I know that Chappell Roan would never get embroiled in a controversy like this.
No, of course
This was a big deal at the time, though. Like, Katy Perry was getting a lot of backlash for having cornrows because it was not acceptable for white women to have cornrows. I actually knew a white woman who got cornrows and then she went bald, so
no.
Yeah.
It's definitely not the move if you're looking to keep your hair.
I hate to bring it back to this, but if you go to Costco, you'll see white women with cornrows.
You will.
Yeah, and they have
Is
Cookie
this
Monster pajamas
real?
on.
Is this?
No, this is real.
That's
This is
awesome.
a photo of Taylor Swift dressed up in a geisha costume. And Swifties were quick to point out in community notes, the styling was carried out by Japanese professionals as a gesture of cultural appreciation with no intent to mock or disrespect the culture.
This is one of those things. Do you remember the famous story of the woman, of like the girl who got like what was it, for her prom?
There was a girl that
kimono
went
for
in
her prom?
basically a kimono dress to her prom back in like 2016, and she
she
got canceled. She
by
lost
Americans, but everybody else was like, "Oh, that's quite nice."
Right, like she even, I think, got college acceptances rescinded. It was insane. But we just had a different culture at the time, and that was considered like just a cardinal sin for you to wear something that wasn't from your culture, even
I
if
do
it
remember
was out of appreciation.
What was it, like 3 or 4 years ago when Will Witt put on like the sombrero in the
Yeah,
and like walked around.
All the white people were like, "That's offensive," and then like Hispanics were like, "This is great."
Yeah, he went to East LA, like, you look good.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
But I thought the argument about cultural appropriation was that there's no such thing as appreciation. It doesn't matter what the context is, or if you did it the so-called right way. It's no matter what, you're not allowed to do that.
We ate Mexican twice this weekend. I think that's cultural appropriation.
Yeah, why was food never included in that? It was just suspicious.
I mean,
that
on the depths of Twitter, they do include food. Because a lot, have you ever been to the white person tacos side of Instagram where they make fun of white people tacos?
No, Kamala Harris, like during the campaign, was talking about, or no, it was actually her joking with Tim Walz about white people tacos and how they have mayo in them.
He literally was a DEI
and that
hire.
sounds awesome, by the way.
he was the first ever white male DEI hire.
You know, so there's all this talk about cultural appropriation, or where they don't, like, they need to cast the appropriate race for the role. You know who's actually really progressive in this matter is the North Koreans, because if you read stories about North Korean defectors, like guys from the American military that defect, they always make them play American soldiers in their propaganda films. So it's actually the North Koreans have really perfected this. So I think they're the only ones that have room to throw stones here.
Yeah.
Kind of stand Kim Jong-un.
Yeah. Here's Christina Aguilera.
Here she has cornrows and then another kimono costume. She has a bindi in that one. That's also considered offensive. And the afro.
This is what somebody who's like, I'm not going as Harley Quinn for Halloween. I'm going as Christina Aguilera in 2001.
I miss when she had a distinctive face and now she just looks like a sex bot.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were the days.
This looks like a meme where it's supposed to be like, stop and share your newest meme on X. Like somebody's going to post a picture of this of her putting her hand up. Stop! Drop your latest meme below.
This was Britney Spears, and they say the pink hanbok was made for Britney Spears by a South Korean designer, and she wore it to thank Korean people for their hospitality. This is cultural appreciation. See, I just don't like the arbitrary nature of it all. Like,
who gets
you can
to
just
decide
kind of,
what's appreciation, what isn't?
Yeah, that's bullshit. And, you know, the food thing, they say it's appropriation if white people start a Mexican restaurant or if white people start a Korean restaurant, whatever. So you're not allowed to make the food from another culture. You're only allowed to buy the food from another culture if the restaurant is owned by people from that culture. That was always the stipulation.
I didn't know that Justin Bieber had dreadlocks.
It's not a look. I'm sorry. I don't really care if it's like considered offensive. That's not the point. White people just look terrible in dreadlocks, and it's never an improvement.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Then Selena Gomez wearing a bindi and like some kind of sari getup, but it's not a sari.
She looks like she's about to give that crying speech about the people getting deported.
It's giving Bollywood.
Yeah.
Kesha.
And the thing is, and then Priyanka Chopra is going to come up and be like, no.
Wait, this Kesha photo this is kind of a look with the headdress.
Is she like supposed to be?
I mean, this just looks like
she's
she's
done all
going to
the races.
Coachella.
Right. This is what used to be standard fare for music festivals.
Yeah. I mean, she looks like she tried to sell you ecstasy at Coachella.
And then Beyonce. I was surprised that Beyonce was included in this thread because they
Well,
will never talk ill of the queen.
Because she's not appropriating white culture.
Right.
White people don't have
Well,
culture.
that actually brings me to the video of Beyonce
Yes.
where she is imitating Pamela Anderson, I believe.
I love Xavier DeRusso.
How is this not cultural appropriation? Yeah.
No music.
Xavier DeRusso said, I'm starting to understand why white people think that Beyonce is guilty of cultural appropriation. She basically passes as white in this.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's the lighting. I don't know. But yeah, they're allowed to wear a blonde wig. It's cultural appropriation when white people wear cornrows, but not when Beyonce wears a blonde wig.
Pamela Anderson in the 90s.
Mm-hmm. But I don't even know what Beyonce is appropriating in these photos.
Hugh Hefner can't push back because he's dead.
Right.
Some people are saying that like this was a reference to some kind of obscure African deity. I don't even know what that means.
Jenny in the chat says, if it looks bad, then it's appropriation. So you're on the knife's edge every time. You're like, crap, I hope this looks good.
You just better get it
like,
right.
I'm like one missed button away from getting in real trouble.
And this is Nicki Minaj in a slutty kimono costume. So I didn't realize this, but this is also not considered appropriation because Nicki Minaj is Blasian.
Yes.
She's Indian, half Indian.
Wait, so does that mean that it's then what happens when Aquafina puts on her accent and then they get mad at her about the accent?
I feel like that's appropriation.
She's,
there's no way Aquafina naturally sounds like that.
Well, she's committed like psychological warfare on Queens. Like when I used to take the train into town for like a week, they had her doing the announcements.
Why?
People were like jumping out of the train car. It was bad.
I would too.
It's like those people who like go specifically to the Golden Gate Bridge just to jump off.
Yeah,
they have to put the
literally.
nets down.
There's Azalea Banks wearing a bindi. I mean, they just hate Azalea Banks anyway, so she's already on the outs. Justin Timberlake. I didn't know he had cornrows.
He looks awesome.
Wait, it kind of works with the bandana though.
And I will say, he's from Memphis, as am I. We're allowed to have cornrows if you're from Memphis. That's actually that's an exception. The black community announced this.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember when this happened. They said, no, he's from Memphis. It's okay.
It was like when they did, there was an NSYNC video, or a band called Black did a song called Give It All to Me with NSYNC, and there's a line about thug appeal. It's just the whitest guys you've ever seen in your entire life. I still remember that.
That's awesome.
You reminded me of Taylor Swift's collab with T-Pain earlier today.
Thug Story.
We can't even show Thug Story.
No, it gets
on the
copyrighted instantly.
They're trying to erase it from the internet. If you find it, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
They
you can see it,
but
you'll get copyright claimed. Like they keep that. They like T-Pain doesn't want anybody watching that, and Taylor Swift
because
is
it's offensive, right?
I think he's more like it was in bad taste, even though it wasn't. It was exactly the type of
a simpler time.
Well, no, it's because it was. Think of it in the same vein of like what Lonely Island was doing at that time. Oddly enough, with T-Pain.
Yeah.
It's a dark time.
But this is why we can't have nice things anymore.
Yep.
Lady Gaga's shown this sheer niqab, which kind of defeats the purpose of a niqab.
This looks like it could just be something that Cher would wear.
It looks like Cher from the eyes
because the eyes.
Well, in the first one, the pink one, she's wearing like a malaria net.
I don't know what Madonna is doing in this photo.
I mean, Madonna looks like she's gonna try and sell you knickknacks at a bazaar.
Yeah.
She looks terrifying, but she always does.
No, what's the meme? Have you ever seen the meme of like the Olsen twins? It says one looks like they know how you died, the other one looks like they know when you die.
She looks like a Darth Maul with her little head.
Yeah, a little bit. I see it. And then these photos of Lana Del Rey are just a serve. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah,
especially with the
she's
pistol.
innocent.
She looks badass. I don't care.
That's horrible trigger discipline, though. She's
No,
like
yeah, that's not good.
some dude, some poor bass player is about to just get brained, and that's not good.
See, we're scrolling down this list. I'm just waiting for the outdoor boys photo. That's why he's walking away. He's like, he had cornrows?
Pharrell Williams in a headdress. Gigi Hadid got a lot of attention because she is partly of Arab descent, so she's supposedly allowed to like wear a hijab as a fashion choice, but she's not Muslim, from my understanding, or at least she's not a practicing Muslim. Avril Lavigne like kind of invented it.
I mean, right here, I feel she looks kind of fat. She kind of is giving Meghan Trainor.
her Hello Kitty music video kind of.
Wait, what is she appropriating?
Is
here?
iconic.
What culture is the victim?
Like
obesity. There's cupcakes.
I don't think that this is what you can call Japanese culture. This is just like
being weird.
Yeah, kawaii. I don't know. Kylie Jenner has been accused of cultural appropriation countless times. But the Kardashians moved on from that because they're dating white men now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is why they're coming back to haunt them.
Mm-hmm.
They were in the clear for a while.
Same with Kim. She had cornrows.
I'm so scared. It's because Timothée Chalamet really is like the ring. You know, for if you're a white guy, he is kind of like our MLK. So I'm a little worried what they're gonna do to him.
Yeah.
'Cause he's so cool.
This reminded me, it's even considered cultural appropriation for you to allow your child to like wear a Disney princess costume that's not their race. Like this came up in Matt Walsh's documentary. Like, is it offensive to allow my daughter to dress up as Princess Jasmine for Halloween?
Yeah.
But then if she dresses up as one of the white princesses, then you're saying that you only favor the white ones. And that's racist too. So you really can't win.
That's kind of like the woke people's version of the Xanatos Gambit, where whatever you choose, you lose. They win either way.
My favorite offensive Halloween costume. I remember us doing a segment on like offensive Halloween costumes one year.
Yep.
My favorite still is the couple's costume where you're both of the Twin Towers.
Oh.
With the paper mache flames.
Well, I saw one where it was like the couple is the Twin Towers and their kid is like a little plane and they're carrying.
I'm
That's
sorry.
nice.
I think it's cute because it's a baby, not because I think 9/11 is funny. Okay. But no cultural appropriation necessary. You can still be offensive without it. Paris Hilton, that was a serve. I don't care.
Stop being fat instead of stop being poor.
I don't even know what they're accusing Demi Lovato of doing.
She's like,
what is this? This isn't appropriation of anything.
Oh, she has dreads. Look, if you look
Does
close,
she?
if you zoom in, enhance.
I see.
We have an enhance button.
Mm-hmm. Miley Cyrus as well had the dreads at the VMAs. Still don't like more of these are getting like obscure as hell. I don't know what J-Lo did. What is that?
I don't know.
This Adele picture is crazy. Is this AI?
No, that's real. I remember she had cornrows for a while.
And she's just like in someone's backyard.
She's just like,
what is this?
You know what it was? She woke up one day. She's like, "Fuck, I'm skinny. I can do anything I want now."
Is this the Crazy Eyes?
That was like when she
character from Orange Is the New Black with the buns all over her head. Gwen Stefani reigns supreme. She basically invented cultural appropriation, and I support it. I don't care. She had like a posse of Japanese women just following her around for years. It was awesome.
There you go.
What is this?
I have no idea, but I'm clicking off it so we don't get oh, he said end of the thread. Follow me for more.
But they said that Gwen Stefani got a pass as well because she grew up for part of her childhood in Japan when her dad worked for Toyota, I think. So they're saying she's appreciating.
There you go.
It's like, dude, he's not racist. His girlfriend literally studied abroad.
There you go. It's just it's kind of like I talk about when old television shows used to take more risks in like their episode of the week. There was a time before the internet was as prevalent as it is now where creatives felt more free to take risks, and they didn't always land. Oftentimes,
as you can see from these examples.
Oftentimes they didn't land, but for me, that's the worst because a lot of my favorite TV shows, like my favorite episodes of shows are almost unapologetically always the ones that don't land for other people. Like the X-Files episode Gender Bender, which is not allowed
They would never.
They would never. But I love that episode because it was a big swing and a big miss, and I still loved it.
Yeah, the hand-wringing about cultural insensitivity is definitely unique to this very insular American mindset. And even now, nobody talks about it anymore. Like,
it was just like a 5-year weird blip because like everyone always uses the Jimmy Kimmel clip where he was like pretending to be Karl Malone and he wore like blackface and stuff. But if you watch the clip, it's pretty funny.
Is blackface like okay now?
Well, it wasn't like a caricature blackface. He literally just painted himself brown. Jimmy, and I think Fallon did it too.
Also, if the thing that's being criticized in anything to do with Karl Malone is that, then
yeah, I know. I'm like, you're going to war for this guy?
Yeah, you don't go to war for Karl Malone.
It's like you don't want him. What do you want the cosplay accurately? That's not good.
Feel free to look that up online if you want to look up why you're not supposed to exactly support Karl Malone.
Didn't Ben Stiller or Robert Downey Jr. both say that they would make another Tropic Thunder? Yeah. So, like, does that mean that blackface is okay?
No.
Like, does that mean that people, like, think it's acceptable to do that?
No.
What would they do?
Like, that's literally, he gets the pass because it worked. They took the risk, and it worked in Tropic Thunder.
They walked that fine line.
They walked the fine line. It worked. People understand that he's the dude playing the dude trying to be, they get it.
Right.
But if somebody else, like, nobody else is going to take that risk now.
I
just want to know who was the last screenwriter that, like, they finally cut off the blackface and he presented a script and they're like, hey, check this out. Like, dude, what the? He's like, I didn't know Robert Downey Jr. just did it. Like,
you clearly didn't understand the nuance of it.
Back in the day, you'd present a script and they'd be like, where's the blackface? I'm confused.
The last guy
it needs more blackface.
If you go watch television from the late 90s and early 2000s, there was gay panic in like every episode, every season of a show. It's like
it's weird, isn't it?
When did it officially become like taboo to include gay panic?
I want to bring back the days when married couples on TV had to have separate beds. I think we'd all be better off for it.
Yeah.
All right, let's finish the super chats. Get your checks in now, ladies and gentlemen.
Head to the bank. Head to the bank.
Yeah.
Gordon Shumway said Santa maxing. Back in the day, we would tell people stop getting drunk and watching infomercials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh man, my freaking.
Oh, I just ordered 10 tons of Floam. I've been hammered.
And they tell you on the commercial every time, like, the offer lasts for the next hour if you don't call now.
They stress
never
you out.
coming back. That works though. That
out.
limit that works in your brain. It's otherwise nobody would own ShamWow if that didn't work.
Like, imagine you're in the call center and the guy's like, I want to order that, and you're like, oh, we got a sucker,
like every once in a while somebody calls sober and they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you're
People
like,
are
dude?
I'm constly just spilling massive amounts of red wine on my white couch. Like, I don't know.
I want the Shirley Temple box set, please.
Or like the ones for the mattresses where they drop the bowling ball and the bottle of wine is, or the glass of wine is on there, and I'm like, I need that.
It's like, dude, I just cut my boat in half. I need an emergency supply of Flexiol. No, I'm sober.
You gotta get
They do
cut
field
off.
sobriety tests over the phone.
Yeah, like they have to ask you, like, sir, can you please list the alphabet backwards?
It's like, sir, can you?
Bro, I couldn't do that sober anyways.
Read your credit card number backwards, please.
But now those are like the scarily accurate Instagram ads. Like, they always know what I want.
Oh yeah.
They pushed the Shirley Temple box set for 10 years of my life, and I don't know anyone that bought it, and it was nonstop.
But what is that now? Now it's like, I don't know.
Now I get the ads for like printed shirts with like really specific things on it.
Those bar stools that Tim bought from Instagram that have pedals on them
that don't pedal.
Don't even pedal.
There is no way to describe the immeasurable disappointment when I set one of those up and it didn't fucking pedal. Like, I was like, are you kidding me?
Like the pedals themselves, they spun around,
Yeah.
but you couldn't actually.
Like he could have gotten
Work
all
the
of us in
thing.
shape, and he just didn't give a fuck. I like the idea too that there was like a more expensive one that did pedal, but he just didn't buy that.
It like
one.
powers the studio.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're going down. Pedal
Like,
faster.
we don't want generators. We're just gonna make the employees keep the lights on.
Brian Bledsoe said Zin and coffee a sweet treat, so basically nicotine and caffeine. I mean, yeah, like sweet treats are drugs.
The
sometimes.
great John Daly said nicotine plus caffeine equals protein.
Sometimes your sweet treat is an ecstasy pill made to look like Obama's face.
Yeah, did you see those?
No.
They showed at Diddy's trial that he had ecstasy tablets that were faces of Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm not doing that. Like I'm only doing Bill Clinton ecstasy.
Yeah.
Is that bad juju?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys see my Bill Clinton shirt that I got at the thrift store?
No.
It's like it's almost brand new. There's not a mark on it from 1993.
You never wear graphic tees to work.
I'm gonna wear it for IRL. It's because most of those shirts are they're too thick. Like I have to wear the thinnest shirt possible. But I think just for IRL, it's just got a big picture of Bill Clinton's face and it says Washington D.C. inauguration.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I have a shirt. It says my portfolio, and it's like Northrop Grumman. It's awesome. I'm gonna wear it.
Yes.
Aaron Swain said, if he was 12, implying he's not, why do these people insist on talking like they're perpetually beginning puberty? What?
He's talking about the sweet treat thing. I think.
I have no idea what that's referring to.
I think it.
That shirt.
Oh no, he's talking about the coffee guy. The guy who makes his
Oh.
own coffee.
Aura.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
January 20th, 1993.
Yeah, but we're in.
Wasn't even January
You
6th.
can't wear that to DC though. You'll give someone like PTSD.
The guy in the coffee video just has the normal, like, Zoomer vocal fry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not him beginning puberty. Greg Duvier said, that is not coffee, that is a liquid dessert.
Yeah.
Coffee
Yeah.
schmoffy.
Yeah.
It is whatever you want it to be.
There you go.
Morgan Xavier said, nerds gummy clusters are my crack. So good.
Yes.
I don't know if I've tried them, but they
No,
look
it's-
Oh, you're
good.
missing
I get
out.
the Airhead bites.
Oh, I know those.
Oh,
I'm
But
not
the
really a
gummy
sour candy
clusters.
person, though. Like, I'm a chocolate person more than
Wait, what did she
gummies.
donate in? See, Canadian currency? Great. So
It is Canadian.
Like, thanks for the
Canadian
dime.
dollars. Pop Culture Junkie said, for many years I've relied on treats, sweet and otherwise, as a reward for controlling my weight and staying healthy. Cheap discipline, it works.
Let's go. Let's go.
But then you're having sweet treats that are going to make you gain weight. I'm confused. High Voltage 75 said, big sugar has its hold on us all.
Very
So
true.
true.
Very true. Unfortunately true.
But that's why I get a cinnamon flavored Zin. It tastes like a little cinnamon treat. It tastes sweet, but there's no calories. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
I have a friend who keeps his Zen in an Altoids tin. It's a monster play. I recommend it to everyone.
I've been reusing the same plastic canisters for my Zins for like months now.
Have you seen Andrew? He's got like a giant metal contraption.
Really?
Yeah, it looks like an urn.
Does it have like a lock on it?
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, because he offered me one, I pull the top up and his used ones are in there. I'm just like, it's like one of those it's like one of those
Ew.
Chinese puzzle boxes.
Why
that
do
you
some
open.
people like keep their used Zins in the can?
memories.
That's really weird.
Take a trip down. Yeah, at the end of the day, take a trip down memory lane. Like, oh, that was
But
a
then
good
they
one.
all
yeah.
get like marinated in your spit over time. Like, yeah,
Some
no.
people are into that.
Maybe it's a way to keep people from wanting to bum one off you. They're
Yeah.
like, yeah, you can have one if you want one marinated in my
It's
spit.
like, yo, could I get a bum? Can I bum off
This
that
is
Zen?
why I am anti-Alps. Like, I'm never going to buy the American lip pillows because he sells them moist. Like, that's part
Oh,
of
what?
that's part of the pitch.
It's probably
is that-
quality assurance. Someone's like, yeah, it's good.
yeah.
Wait, I saw a video last week of like all the vapes getting tested before they go to sale. It's like somebody's job.
Just
to-
one guy.
That is
It's like somebody's
crazy.
job to test them to make sure they work before they
His
sell
brain
them.
is just
I
rotting.
heard RFK is cracking down on the unauthorized Chinese vapes right now. I don't know if the Zoomers are going to be happy about
no,
that.
they're not. They're gonna riot.
Shane H. Wilder said, Zins are considered a sweet treat. That means I treat myself like 10 times a day. I may have a problem. Sadly, there's only one solution. More Zins.
There you go.
I'm getting there. Like, I don't even count how many Zins I have a day at this point, but I have like one while I'm driving to work, and I have one right now before the show. And then I get home and I have another one, and at that point I just stop.
I have to do like
keeping
4 across the top.
4 6 milligram.
It's bad.
That's,
I go through.
You're
2.
not even kidding. You actually.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I got like 2 here.
That is insane.
I go through 2 cans every 3 days.
Just start smoking at that point.
No, because then you have to wash your clothes often.
Well, yeah. Arsenal Man said, I used to work for a weed farm called Dutch Brothers Farms, and Dutch Bros Coffee tried to sue us because of the name. They were really pissy about it.
Wait, so is it like, were they actually 2 bros named the Dutch Brothers?
So you were actually a weed farmer, like you were tilling the soil and stuff.
The Dutch are big on like weed, so that makes much more sense than coffee.
It's like I said, that guy sounded like every weed head that I've ever known who like was really into strains, and they read High Times. And
bro, it's sativa, bro.
Yeah.
Like, just try it. Weary Traveler said, bro's just gay. About Pedro,
I'm
yeah.
guessing about Pedro.
It's true.
Just wondering, like, when is he gonna come out? Is it like gonna be a big deal for him? He's gonna have a coming out party.
It's literally gonna be it's a scene they've done in movies now, where it's like a guy comes out and everyone's like, we know.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh.
We can all just move on with our lives. No, Javi Nobody the Hate Monger said, never say Latinx. Latinx is not a real thing.
No, he's talking because I said it, and I won't stop saying it until Mexico recognizes the Gulf of America. So the ball's in your court, Shine Bomb.
Shane H. Wilder said, Mr. Fantastic is straight. That's a stretch.
Dude, he's crushing it tonight.
Yeah. Serenco Productions said, I got it. Pedro is a furry.
Oh.
Maybe.
Confirmed.
Well, speaking of furries, this next super chat.
Arsenal Man said, hear me out, Jessica Rabbit. Well, it's not really hear me out, though, is it? Because she's a human
For
and
bestiality?
she's super... Wait, is Jessica... I thought Jessica Rabbit was human.
Jessica, it sounds like a rabbit. I don't know.
Her name is Jessica Rabbit, but she is human,
but
right?
she's a cartoon, yes.
Jessica
the hear me
Rabbit.
out that you usually hear is Lola Bunny.
Yeah.
Right. Which
That's
is
a
just a
hear me
crime.
out, but like...
Oh, this... Yeah.
Jessica Rabbit is just a very voluptuous human
Right.
character.
They can't do that. It's like they changed Lola Bunny's design when they remade Space Jam. It's like tragic.
Dude, I knew a guy
They
that cried.
made her
took off
homely.
her boobs?
I knew a guy
They made her
that cried
homely.
when that happened.
Yeah. And they got rid of Pepe Le Pew because he's kind of a creep.
He was a little creepy, but...
He's French, so...
The Riz is crazy, though, because it worked and he stunk.
That's
so
such a loss to the culture.
It's true.
Adam.
You wonder why Zoomers aren't getting girlfriends? It's because Pepe Le Pew's not guiding them.
Adam said, I also enjoy watching Xander Budnick.
Like Outdoor Boys.
Is this a similar channel?
That's what it seemed like.
Okay. Kenneth Hart said, Mary is right. We are meant to be fueled by nicotine, caffeine, and a constant low level of irritation. One has nothing to do with the other. Am I getting called out right now? Is this why I'm such an angry person?
Like one
I'm
day,
always on
like,
stimulants.
Yeah.
I don't care. I like it. I like myself just the way I am. Weary Traveler said, Rich Men North of Richmond is terrible, and Oliver Anthony is a tool. Mary showing how based she is yet again. Finally, someone agrees with me about this. I was absolutely raked over the coals for my take on the song. And it literally was not even about the message of the song. I was just like, I don't like it. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
It's not catchy. It's self-pitying.
Culture, there's so much to unpack wrong with like the reaction to that too.
Like the fact that he was praised at the debates, or
yeah, it's just so like phony. It just everything about it sucked.
It was like, there's this new song, Rich Men North of Richmond. Let's ask the rich men north of Richmond what they think of it, and hear them pretend that they loved it.
Someone also made a gay parody of it, and it was insane.
I remember that.
Like, living in a gay world.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I can't. That's the only part of the song that's clean. That's what
With
the
a
song is.
straight soul.
No, he
he's
said something
gay.
else.
Okay.
No, that line was something very vile.
Shane H. Wilder said, it's geisha, just think about Pedro Pascal.
So true.
Chico, yeah. Dingus Khan said, we don't care about crisis parties now, just that sweet, sweet XP. Well, if you super chat, you get more XP, so they kind of go hand in hand. Do we know who's on the leaderboard right now?
I'm not going to tell them. If all they care about is XP, then they're not going to get any benefit from that. It's all right.
Can't fuel their addiction.
Well, it looks like Yesh got #1 from the start of the show, so I don't know what it even means. Adam said Mary should wear a kimono.
There you go.
I I don't
We should all wear kimonos.
really think that would be a look for me.
We should all wear kimonos and do Taylor Swift's makeup so it's not offensive. Have like a Japanese person do it for us.
Adam said, who's making these rules for culture appropriation? I don't mind anyone dressing in my culture.
Well, Adam, what is your culture?
Just white. It's like, oh, he's wearing blue jeans. I don't care.
If you're white, you don't have a culture.
That's what they tell me.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they tell me.
We should start dressing people down for wearing like baseball caps. Hey, that's ours.
I appropriate black culture every time that I make noise in movie theaters.
Literally, I have a subwoofer in my car, dude. I could be canceled any minute now.
Shane H. Wilder said, I still don't get the XP. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing for PCC and for the Gongo.
Thank you.
We appreciate that.
Grinding XP.
True story, the ShamWow guy got arrested for doing blow and beating a hooker.
Yeah.
It's like,
talk about an endorsement.
What?
Makes perfect sense given his behavior.
Yeah.
And Billy Mays was also he was a coke addict, wasn't he?
There's like now they're releasing like the behind the scenes video and he like messes up the take like 12 times. They're like, come on, Billy, and he's like, I'm sorry.
He gets like angrier every
12
time.
is nothing. I think what it is like he probably got it right every time, but they told him it was wrong to get him more angry to get him
up.
He was using like a scrubber and he like dropped it and it scuffed the floor up and a guy was like, come on, Billy, and he was like, I'm sorry. It was so sad.
Midnight Rider said, I'm a Miller Lite man, have been since I was 8. John Daly.
Dude, John Daly's a goat.
Brian Bledsoe said, turn PCC into one of those religious telethons for crisis parties.
Do you need a blessing? I can sense a blessing in that crowd. Come on, go open your checkbooks. I can sense a blessing right now.
The Lord.
We could do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, that is kind of what we do.
We could get Oliver Anthony since he's a pastor now.
Yeah.
He could help us out.
He'd sit right there.
Yeah. Shane H. Wilder said, I'm on my 5th sweet treat of the day, i.e. I'm on my 5th Zin. It's not much, but it makes me feel better.
There you go.
Good.
And you deserve a Zin.
You earned that.
You earned it.
Brian Bledsoe said, telethon for the Gongo.
Now that's an idea.
That's what we should really do.
That's an idea.
I mean, every anniversary
isn't that what a
episode is a telethon.
Isn't that what a subathon
No, we need to have
for...
the table set up with the phone lines. It'd be awesome.
I wish there were like an actual setup like that for the IRL college.
Literally he picks up a rotary phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like Larry
awesome.
King. It'd be like, Dave in Schenectady,
No,
go!
actually, I like it more like he picks up like a corded phone, and then like when the next caller in, he has to hit like the button to like switch over to the other line.
And Tim like answers.
And then if two people want to ask a question together, you can make it a conference call.
Yeah, merge them. Yeah, Tim should answer him like Frasier. Be like, I'm Tim Pool. I'm listening.
I love that.
It'd be awesome.
Why does Frasier always come up when you're on the show?
Because I love Frasier.
I do too.
I literally binged it last night. Because someone was like, you need to watch White Lotus. I was like, yeah, I'll go home and watch it. And then I went and watched Frasier.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, that's how I feel about literally everything.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you should watch this new show. Thing I've seen 1,000 times.
Like, Everybody Loves Raymond.
It's set
on
in
repeat.
Seattle, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what's so comforting about it.
Because like Seattle looked so sick in the 90s, and now it's like literally Mad
Unlivable.
Max. Yeah.
No, so that's why you go watch the Jessica Alba show, Dark Angel, which came out in the year 2000, which it's in like a post EMP world where all technology has been destroyed. It just looks like what Seattle looks like now.
Yeah. No, I can't. You know, on YouTube where they like show like colorized footage of like New York in the 20s.
Mm-hmm.
I can't watch those. It makes me too angry. I like get fired up. I'm like, I gotta go for a walk, guys. I'm sorry.
God, things look sick back then.
Yeah, I know.
Shane H. Wilder said, unless I'm eating, sleeping, or at church, no need for zins when I got the Eucharist, then I'm probably zinning.
There you go.
Zinning is like my appetite suppressant of choice. Like that's probably why I have so many zins a day. It's just something, it's like chewing gum but without the chewing part. That's what I like about it. Pop Culture Junkie said, the creator of Pepe Le Pew, Chuck Jones, told me Pepe was based on my relationships with women in high school. I never knew when I was being offensive. See, that's like heartwarming. That's a relatable experience.
Except Chuck Jones doesn't sound French. I think we got another cultural appropriation offender here.
But they were saying like Pepe Le Pew was like rapey.
I didn't think that. I thought he
You
just
never
had
took
W
no for an
Riz.
answer?
He had W Riz.
Oh, damn. I thought somebody had all the episodes of Dark Angel on YouTube, and I was about to send myself the playlist, but it's one of those shitty ones where it's like in a box in the corner. It's probably set to like 25% visibility.
Junie said, hear me out. teenage Simba.
Okay. All right. Get a grip.
Is that
what is going on?
Is
here?
that legal?
Straight to jail.
Yeah.
None of that is legal.
We need
It's like
a instant replay. Figure out what
multiple layers
there.
of illegal. Omega Red Fan said, just have a prop phone and put a girl on as the ringtone.
That's a good idea, actually.
I have a custom ringtone. It's a Charlie XCX song.
There you go.
I can't believe there's people that actually have like the ringer on their phone.
I never have it on. It's on vibrate all the time, but like.
Mine is
just
the
in
old
case.
horn. Because awesome.
I hate that.
I leave it on in airports.
Do you ever like have an alarm go off that you definitely didn't set?
No.
I have my
I feel
alarm.
like Apple has some kind of scheme where they're turning off alarms that you set or like.
Olivia
starting new
definitely
ones.
has situations where it seems like alarms don't go off that she definitely did set.
My roommate in college had like 6 in a row, and so I would just
That's-
wake up 6
Oh.
times.
I have like 20, maybe 30.
Yeah,
That
I do the
turn on
timer.
every night. I turn on like 30 alarms.
I set the timer because I can't do math at night. So then if I wake up, I'm like, oh, I have exactly 5 hours of sleep left.
Olivia's in the chat, so I'm not going to out how many alarms she puts on her phone.
No, do it.
Nah.
Start some beef.
If Olivia wants to let everybody know how many alarms she set in the chat, she can. Otherwise, it's nobody's business.
Shane H. Wilder said Rich Men North of Richmond was literally a Temu brand Bob Dylan song. So cringe.
True.
Well, no wonder everybody hates it then, because Bob Dylan fucking sucks.
Okay. So it's funny how everyone has had a change of tune.
Yeah.
Now that
Yeah.
we've had time to reflect on Rich Men North of Richmond.
Also,
but back
I
when it
didn't-
came out, I was getting bullied for counter signaling it.
I did not hate that song. Also, Oliver Anthony can actually sing and Bob Dylan cannot sing. So,
But
they're not
like,
the same.
and the takes around the song where they're like, yeah, we're sticking it to the rich. I'm like, what, are we communists now? Like, we hate the rich?
They're like, this is a cultural reset. Like,
Yeah.
he's the next.
It's those rich men north of Richmond.
Olivia
It's
He's the
like,
next
says-
Hank
is
Williams.
this the Civil
like,
War? Like, what are we, what's going on?
Olivia says, woke up to my first one today, so she got up on the first alarm today.
Wow.
That's something to be proud of.
You deserve a sweet treat for that.
I
You
think
deserve
she
a
deserves
sweet
a sweet treat.
I'll stop at the dollar store on the way home.
Great.
You get the dollar store
No.
Zins, you just like go paralyzed.
Tell them what you
My
said
leg!
earlier
About what?
about your snack stack.
No. We're not outing the snack boxes, okay?
have a snack
No. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay,
There
you gotta
are no
elaborate.
snack boxes.
Okay, these lips are sealed. Never mind, I said anything.
No
But
snack boxes.
seriously, like the entire. No, I take back what I said. I take issue with the message of Oliver Anthony's song in and of itself because it was all about throwing himself a pity party.
Yeah.
And blaming, like, I guess it was about politicians, right? It wasn't just about rich people, but you're not taking responsibility for your own life, basically. That was the message of the song. It's like, I'm going to blame more
Yeah.
powerful people for my present circumstances, which even if you're technically right in some ways,
It's what
doesn't
me and
do anything
you-
for you.
Me and you talk about that all the time. It's like, even if that's, I talk about it on X a lot. It's like, okay, then now what?
Right.
Like, we have identified the problem, but at the end of the day, nobody can really fix your life but you. So what's the solution? It's why it's funny that I got like a reputation for dunking on boomers because like on IRL, because my point is always, it's like, okay, fine. You've diagnosed what you believe to be the problem. How are you going to fix it?
Yeah, because you ever know, you could go to like an idyllic, perfect utopian society country, and the first thing you're gonna hear is like, well, our politicians are horrible. It's
Yeah.
like, everyone thinks their politicians suck. Ours do.
They
but
do.
That's just kind
There
of how
was-
the world works right
There
now.
was also this like message that people took from it that like rural people are inherently more noble or moral
that's what drove
than
me crazy.
people
about
who
it.
live in like urban areas and have more money. Like, that's not true. If you've lived in any rural area, you know there's just as much moral decay in
Yes.
those places as there is in a city. It's just further spread apart because there's a lower population density. Like,
And it's downstream. You get these conservative pundits who are like, "Oh, you should move to like the woods and all this," and I'm like, you can't complain about the institution sucking if you've like moved away from them.
yeah, not that we're like totally in the most remote area right now, but even driving around here, you're gonna see countless strip clubs,
Yeah.
countless lottery places. Like,
And you-
gambling and prostitution is incredibly common here.
And you're still not untouched from like there's like a Arby's and a Panda Express right down the street.
Right.
It's like this is all.
You
it
still have all the
sucks.
corporations
Yeah,
that
it's-
planted their flag here.
Yeah.
And you'll have a church across the
I mean,
road
but
from
the
a
thing
strip
is
club, literally.
in these spaces, everyone's trying to sell you something. some idea, whether it's an idea of what they think a better future would be, or even the idea of like what your suffering should mean to you. It's why I joke all the time. I'm like, we're here to be your background noise, and believe whatever you want, because I don't care.
It's just gross that there are these pundits and influencers who probably live in high-rise apartments in like Miami or Austin, and they are spreading propaganda to their following that like, if you're not building a self-sufficient homestead in the middle of nowhere, you're a piece of shit, and basically you should die. Like,
Scott Walker literally put a tweet up, the former governor of Wisconsin. He put a tweet up. It was like his daughter, and he was like, she just got her master's. We're so proud. This is excellent. It's like, that's great. Like 2 years ago, he put a tweet up saying like, college is a scam. Don't you ever go to college. And it's like, they never, like, every single person that gets up and is like, don't go to college, the biggest scam, they have like a master's.
Right.
Do not go to college without a plan.
Yeah, I mean, me and Sean argue about this all the time.
Have a plan so that you know that you're going to be going into a field that's going to make it worth the investment.
But it's like the people that tell people not to go to college, and these pundits, like, because it works for you because you're like a very different type of person to be like a self-starter. It's like the average person. We shouldn't, like, if I were a liberal and I wanted to undermine the entire movement, I'd be like, move to the woods, don't go to college, get out of the cities, like, get as far away from every powerful institution you possibly can.
I know that if my dream job is a laptop job, that mythical job where you make like $150,000 a year and you just sit on Zooming, like it's
I have to believe
but
it's
what
real.
it is like it's not a job that a dude without a college degree usually gets. You got to have your 4 years. So I'm not, like, I didn't go to a 4-year college, so that job outside,
just out of reach.
They say a man's reach should what's the saying? It's like a man's reach should exceed his grasp. That job is just outside of my grasp, and I'll
you know
never
you are
have it.
qualified for
What?
is taking over the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
All I know is like and what I'm stuck with doing is dunking on Bob Dylan, and that's why I see people in the chat saying like Bob Dylan's great. Somebody said he's not a singer, he's a bard. Yeah, bard at singing.
Yeah, his whole thing's like, I'm Bob Dylan, this is my song.
I'm just gonna mumble a song to you that's not a song. I'm just gonna tell a story that sucks.
Shane H. Wilder said, when I get a phone, I turn the ringer off immediately. Also, I always hated Rich Men North of Richmond. You can go back and check the record. Well, you might have been one of the only people who was willing to take my side on that at the time. Gordon Shumway said, some of the best songs out there by Bob Dylan, they're great just as long as he's not singing them. So if they're a cover of a Bob Dylan song, it's fine? What would you say, Brett? If it's a cover?
No.
Okay.
There's one Bob Dylan song that I like, and that's The Hurricane. And even that, I only like 3 of the 4 verses. And even then, like, we speak not of it. And that's...
There you go.
Again, I didn't hate the song, though I still think that the best version of that song is the Donald Trump remix.
True.
Another
weird thing is, like, people in these spaces are always encouraging their followers to go into the trades, but it's like, how can you go into the trades, which is like, fine, do that if you want to do that, and then start your own business in a trade and not live in a city where a lot of people need your services.
Literally, like every time they're this plumber makes 140K, it's like, that's awesome, but he lives in Chicago.
Yeah, but the thing is you're they might not say the same thing at the same time. They might not say move to the middle of nowhere and become a plumber. They'll say move to the middle of nowhere or become a plumber.
Oh yeah. Oh, but
there's all of these conflicting messages.
And it's also like, if you talk to anybody that's a tradesman, like, the majority of tradesmen don't own their business. They work for someone. So it's like, that's not even a guarantee.
But it is a field where plenty of them, of the successful businesses, at least the ones that are not franchised, were started by somebody who didn't go to 4-year school. They went into the trades and then built their business on their own because they're more business minded.
Yeah.
Whereas you can't really teach being business minded at a 4-year school.
Oh, that's 100. I mean, look, I'm in total agreement with the conservatives that like college like is a joke now, but it's like, it's not even about the education. Like, if I was the accreditation.
I understand.
But a lot of these hiring managers just want you to have a degree.
It's like, if I was a kid these days, just like literally go into finance. Just start pillaging the system. Just like my goal is to work for BlackRock. Like,
literally,
sign me up.
Like, if you give yourself some breadcrumbs of sweet treats, you will lead yourself to BlackRock.
Like, every time that I gut some small company, I get myself a sweet treat.
Do you think investment bankers like go on their break to get a sweet treat and come back.
Yeah, it's booger sugar.
Cocaine and crumble.
their
They
sweet
they
treat.
put it on top of a crumble cookie.
Yeah, it's a little like powdered sugar.
Sorry guys, I need a sweet treat right now.
Pop Culture Junkie said another Chuck Jones quote, "The coyote is the Hindu definition of a fanatic, someone who redoubles his effort long after he has forgotten his goal."
That's profound.
Wow.
That's so profound.
I'm 14 and this is deep.
Literally.
What?
Oh, I was thinking, who's the guy who said the quote, like, that Wile E. Coyote was the living embodiment of want? Like,
Yeah.
people get deep about their cartoons.
He's desire
He's literally
personified.
Sisyphus. He's literally Sisyphus.
Brian Bledsoe said, "Feel like the Hear Me Out should be a Rumble post."
I have no hear me
What?
out. I have no desire for any type of inanimate object or animal.
No, it's
or
because you're
cartoon.
spoken for. That's why.
I don't know if this is something I said the last time we were talking about this, but the apple from Apple Jacks is a
Yeah.
Hear Me Out for me.
It's the crackhead honeycomb character from the 90s who used to
Yeah.
jump through walls like the
Oh, and we had this and I said the cinnamon toast squares, and you guys acted like I was crazy. That's a perfectly
Maybe
reasonable hear me out.
the wolf from the Cookie Crisps.
Ooh.
He has a
Chester
certain
the
appeal.
Cheeto, I think is legit. Shout.
I'm telling
We
you,
have a
many-
20.
like you're telling me you wouldn't like.
There's not many female
horrifying.
snack mascots, is there? There's barely any.
No.
Yeah.
Now that I
Little
think of
Debbie,
it.
but that's off limits for obvious reasons.
Well, we mentioned somebody the other day mentioned Wendy.
I
from
mentioned
Wendy's,
Wendy.
and I was like, I think she's a little young, guys.
We have a
Flow.
20 from the Manic Mustache. Late as usual, but apropos to red battle pandas, recently discovered through trial and error that red pandas are actually raccoons. Awkward if the apocalypse had happened. I hope these Komodo dragons idea is going to work. Stay toxic, my friends. I don't know what he...
I will say, I remember
meant by
going to
that.
the zoo. My mom told me about red pandas, and I was so stoked. And then I was like, "These little rats, these are the red pandas." Like, I remember being crushed.
They're tiny.
Yeah, they're literally just raccoons with spray paint.
Adam said take PCC to outdoor. I don't know if that setup would work.
Maybe some outdoor
In the
boys.
elements.
He's saying outdoor boys.
Shane H. Wilder said, Brett's right. I went to college for film. I would not do it again as I learned more skills on my own than what I learned
Literally.
in college.
Well, one of the
literally learn
things that I learned was like they can teach it to you all you want, but most people, at least as far as I understand, and it's definitely true for me, I have to just do a skill over and over again, or it doesn't stick in my brain.
Yeah.
Like it's one of the reasons why you'll never actually learn things on YouTube as well unless you're actually getting up and trying to do it over and over again.
Or like using Duolingo to learn Spanish. It's
like-
not the same
Yeah.
thing as living in a country where you have to speak
That's how it used to work back in the day. Was like apprenticeships was
Like-
a big deal.
Like literally when we were in here again, like when we set up the studio and we had to set up because of the different lighting conditions in here than the old studio because there was no overhead lights. I'm like, oh, I have to set up color palettes. I don't even fuck. It's like Mary's skin tone should be this. And then I'm just like, I don't care.
Like, how do we make up for the fact that my co-host is translucent?
Yeah, and I had to like write it all down and mark everything down. And I mean, the same is true of like the great filmmakers. A lot of their approach to that is very, very. It's not just art driven; it's formula driven because they've mastered a skill set by doing it over and over and over
Literally.
again.
I have a business degree. I'm not using it.
Yeah, but a business degree has more universal application than.
Well,
But
that was my calculus. I was like, would it be better spinning gears in college or better spinning gears out of college? And I was like, I think it's probably better to spin gears in college.
Do the red crayons taste like strawberries?
That was my senior thesis, actually.
High Voltage 75 said, if I became Catholic, would I have to confess all my sins from the past 39 years?
Yeah, is there a cutoff?
Because that would take a while. Well, it depends. Thank you. It depends. So, like, if you haven't been baptized before, the Catholic Church will baptize you in the process, and then you don't have to go confess your sins. But if you have been baptized, that means they don't need to re-baptize you, and you will do your first confession, and that will have to be like a general one that covers your whole life. Kenneth Hart said, stupid YouTube won't let me tell you about getting real Swedish pouches with unique flavors for $3. It can $3 a can shipped. Great stuff. Cheaper too.
Yeah. In South Africa, they had like 12 milligrams in for like $1.
I don't really want 12 milligrams.
You want 12 milligrams.
I don't want to get into that.
That's beyond a sweet treat. That's a, I don't know, but it's beyond
That's
it.
a whole experience.
I need to get the.
That's a whole meal.
Get the thesaurus out for that one.
No Control said we must domesticate red pandas as pets.
So true.
All right, so there you go.
They can be fearsome.
And one more there. Two more
Two
there.
more. Kyle Dixon said Pedro is a homophony incognito as a gato.
Yeah, it's true.
I've never heard that
I've
string of
never
words,
heard
and
that
I never
before in my
will
entire
again.
life.
Pop Culture Junkie said Chuck Jones, drawing professor on the first day of art school. For the next 4 years, it's my job to get all the shitty drawings out of your system.
There you go.
There you go.
Real quote.
All right, guys, before we go, would you hit the like button on this video, please, and subscribe to the channel if you are new here and you have not subscribed here yet already. Thank you so much for writing those checks out and sending them in. We appreciate it very much. Tate.
Yeah, thank you. My name's Tate. You can find me on Twitter at @RealTateBrown.
And here on Tuesdays for Tate Tuesdays.
It's true. Yeah, some call me Butters as well. I don't know. I've seen that a few times.
I saw Olivia in the chat said Tate should call his fans tater tots.
It's true.
Well, Tate McRae already beat you
Are
to
those
the
the-
punch.
Did she really?
Yeah.
I have a group chat on Instagram, and it's like 30 people, and they're all called Tate Brown. And it's been going for like 8 years.
Have you
There
ever
are that
actually
many?
contributed?
Yeah. Oh, I started it.
Oh!
I'll show you. I'm not making this. I'll show you. And one died, so we had like a eulogy. We eulogized them.
No.
Yeah, and then another one committed a crime. So if you look up her name, it's bad. We all got pissed when that happened. We're like, dude,
The Tate Brown community.
you could literally confront. And one guy got in there. He's like, "Oh, so you're the reason I had to put all these numbers in front of my email," and like it started a fight.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we had to kick out someone.
All right, Mary, where can they find you?
You guys can send me validation on Instagram at Mary Archived, or you can send me hate on X. That is also Mary Archived.
We're getting Froyo after work. So
A little sweet treat?
Yeah.
Oh,
we're gonna
okay.
get a sweet treat after work. So, guys, if you would like to follow me, I am on Instagram and on Twix at Brett Dasovic on both of those platforms. We are here 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is noon Pacific. Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Spotify. If you would like to listen rather than watch the show, you can rate and review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify, which always helps. If you want to follow the show on social media, Twix at PopCulture_show, Facebook at Pop Culture Crisis, Instagram at Pop Culture Crisis Pod. Guys, we will be back with another episode tomorrow. We'll see y'all then.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.